The Church of What's Happening Now is presented by Onnit. Bidets are back. The Church of What's Happening Now is thrilled to introduce you to HelloTushy.com. HelloTushy.com makes portable devices that spray your butt clean with water. Go to HelloTushy.com/church right now to get 10% off of your order. That's HelloTushy.com/church. Show is also brought to you by Indochino. Indochino is one of the largest made-to-measure menswear brands in the world. Visit Indochino.com/church and enter church at checkout right now to get any premium Indochino suit for just $389, and that's 50% off of a regular price made-to-measure premium suit, and shipping is free. That's Indochino.com, enter church at checkout. The show is also brought to you by Lyft. Lyft drivers can make up to $35 an hour. Getting started is just a tap away. Sign up today at lyft.com/Joey. And if you complete 100 rides in 30 days, you'll get a $500 bonus. That's right. Go to lyft.com/Joey right now and sign up today.
All right, I got my adrenaline going.
Kick that fucking muley. I ain't got time to fuck around. It's Monday, December 12th. 13 days away from the big day. 12 days away from fucking Hanukkah. It's the Church of What's Happening Now. Mr. Bas Rutten. Yeah. My little Jewish Goomba, Lee Syatt.
Hello.
And I'm your Uncle Joey. Kick that muley. I want to hear that motherfucker. Oh shit. Oh shit. Are you kidding me or what? 12 days away and you'll be sitting around with your family with your finger up your ass looking around the room going, I work all year for this. This is what the fuck I work all year for, to be sitting with these people, these fucking kids. I should be at a strip club, people's titties on my head. Fuck Santa. Bas Rutten in the motherfucking house.
How crazy is that? It's been in the making for a while here.
Yes, it has. I'm happy you're on.
Yeah, me too, man.
One of your biggest fans. Do you have any children, brother?
I do. I have 3 girls, 3 daughters.
How old?
A 27-year-old. She just had a baby tomorrow. He's 1 year old.
God bless
Scott,
you.
yeah. And then I have a 20 and a 15-year-old.
How many guys did you knock out along the way?
No, you know, I did threaten, but I never knocked anybody out yet.
What a fucking nightmare it is to have daughters.
You know, I know, but the good thing in my school or in my city, Rutten is an unusual name here, right? So it is always, and I always tell my daughters, don't say anything. There's always a teacher who goes, Rutten, by any chance related to Bas Rutten? And I go, yeah, that's my dad. Oh, is your dad? Okay, guys, can I have your attention? Watch out with this girl. You know, and that solves the problem.
That's it.
Yeah.
But the way they connect to you and rip your fucking lung out. Like this morning there was drama in my house because she didn't want to say the prayers or for anybody to say prayers at the table. So you can't eat till you say prayers. If you eat, go to the room. Oh, she's 3.5. She's gonna be 4 in 1 fucking month.
I was just gonna ask.
All right. So today, finally at 9:45, she's out there praying. You know, because my wife goes, "You're not gonna wear this dress for church. You know, we're not gonna go to church if you don't." She went out there, she prayed. Now, I usually don't go to this church. I'm a fucking Catholic. This is some fucking Studio City church. A lot of kids, Gentiles, they walk around, whatever. I go. Today, she's in the pageant.
Oh.
So I go. I put the suit on. I bust out the whole fucking deal. My wife's like, why are you putting a suit on? People aren't going to wear a suit. I go, you know what? I want her to know that we dressed up. That we made the fucking effort. These are the little things I tell people that you don't know when you're fucking 20. That you come and go, you know what, this is how I gotta act around her. We take her there. First of all, I park the car. I walk up, and there's my wife. I go, "Where's the fucking kid?" She goes, "They took her. That's it. They're downstairs rehearsing or whatever the fuck they do." I go, "All right." You know me. She's getting molested. In the back of my mind, I'm like, that dirty motherfucker's got it down there, giving the Bill Cosby pills, rubbing her feet and shit. Really, this is where my head goes. I don't trust none of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You do know that. You have to.
You have to.
You have to, because if not, when she is 13 and she is telling you at the pastor finger banged her, you'll go, "Wow, I thought you were downstairs rehearsing." So in my perverted mind, I'm like, she's getting finger banged downstairs. But I don't want to say that to my wife, because my wife's a Gentile and it'll break her heart. I go in there, I play along. At first, I can't hear, so I get anxiety. In a church, they're singing fucking songs and they're talking whatever. There's a guitar in there with a piano. The guy had to be 90. Boss, the guy playing the guitar had to be fucking 90. I had to get up. I was high. I had to get up and look over. He wouldn't even. He'd play a chord and he'd pass out. Then he'd wake up again and play another chord and pass out for another minute.
It's the best thing if you're 90. You can do anything you want.
Fucking 90.
Yeah.
First of all, we're in the car and I'm like, you know what? I didn't get high. I go, hold on, Terry. I wore the wrong shoes. What are you talking about? I shot out to that fucking backyard and I blasted off 2 pipefuls of death. I took some Listerine, some mint, and I drank some fucking diet soda just to kill. I have no cologne. I don't use cologne. And if you're a man and you lose cologne, I got to shoot you.
Yeah, I never use it. Amen to
cologne.
that.
That means you don't take showers and wash your pussy.
Yeah.
Your dick's got to smell like your dick, or if not, that's it. So I run back out. I get in the fucking car. I park. I run in. I know I'm reeking a reefer, but I got a suit on. Nobody thinks it's me. You know what I'm saying?
But you look like a gangster now, too.
Yeah, when you have a suit on and you reek a reefer, nobody thinks it's you.
Yeah.
I think it's the kid
Plus,
behind
it took
you.
you 10 minutes to change your shoes. Didn't your wife be like, well,
Oh, no. I smoked 3 bowls in 2 minutes. You know me, dog. I'm a prisoner of war. I'm Cuban. I know how to smoke in quick situations. I even smoked a pipe underwater one time. You understand me? Ask me later. Fucking, I get into church. I'm high as fuck. Boss, water is settling in my ear. It's not coming out, so they got me on antibiotics and some steroids. I'm on the last one tonight. But in a week, if I can't hear, they're going to put slits under my ear to drain my fucking ears.
Oh, wow.
And it's killing me when I go to jiu-jitsu, because you having bad cardio or smoking too much, that your cardio's fucked up, that's one thing. But when you got earplugs on and you can hear your fat little heart pumping.
Oh, don't hold that.
Pumping. And I got to take them out to listen to the guy, and then I got to put them back in.
And at night, you got to wear these things at night?
When I shower,
That's
and
a
when I go to
nightmare.
jiu-jitsu.
Because you go to sleep, you hear yourself the whole time.
Well, no, I don't put them on at night.
Oh, because
I
it
put
would
them
drive
on
me
when
nuts.
I put them on when I take a shower.
Okay.
And I put them on in jiu-jitsu because the sweat goes in my ear.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
Now
just
got it.
realized why I feel funky.
Yeah.
After like a couple minutes, I feel funky, bro. Jiu-jitsu, what is this? Lady goes, put plugs in there. The water's settling in there. So I can't hear, so it plays out when I'm in a big place and you have music on. Now it feels weird. So now I'm in this church and there's no adults on the stage. There's a bunch of kids singing. I don't know where my fucking daughter is, right? I don't see my daughter.
She could be the tree.
Right. They got her downstairs. They really Cosby'd her. Right? They gave her the Catholic pedophile smoke. That pedophile smoke they gave the Catholic Church and Quaaludes and gorillas.
that's your first thought?
Oh,
Wow.
dog, you have to go there, because if not, what the fuck? Where's my kid? I don't say this to my wife. I don't worry, and I can't act like a gorilla. So I just don't say nothing. And all of a sudden, a bunch of girls come out dressed up like fucking, like...
Little angels?
Yeah, and they have little things, like Jewish things, but they're long and white. I don't know. Like, oh, they were lambs.
Oh.
That's what they were, fucking lambs. Okay. No big deal. They come in, I'm looking for my little fucking angel, and there she is, right on the corner, facing me. Now, you know what, man? People always go, that's your daughter. Why? Because she looks like me? Come to the house. I got a dog that looks like me, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? People can look like each other.
Yeah.
Today was one of the first times I go, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
And that's why she scares me.
Yep.
That's why I'm petrified. You know why? Because every kid was at attention. My daughter was doing the same shit I do on stage.
What is that?
I move from side to side.
Oh, yeah?
You know, when I'm on a set, in between takes, I sit on that mark. But I drive directors crazy.
Oh, yeah?
And she was doing that. Not only that, she was on an angle. So basically, she was telling, and I could see the fucking dummy that does this, that was too serious about her job. These are 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
She's out there like Tchaikovsky,
yeah.
throwing fucking fingers and smiling. I'm like, oh,
The
this.
director.
Like, even my daughter, I saw my daughter look at her one time, like, what the fuck, lady? And then my daughter looked at me, and when my daughter seen I was up there, she was like smiling at me, but then she'd pay attention and do her thing. But the beauty of it was she never stayed on her mark. She always stayed on an angle sideways, and the whole time she went from side to side. And even when the other kids were standing there like zombos, she would move up with her hands like a real dove, like an angel or whatever the fuck she was doing. I'm like, you know what?
It's crazy how
This
that
little
works.
bitch is onto something.
Yeah.
I like it. She's onto something, my little flower of love. I don't want to do in stand-up, but number one, just that rock got me, my heart. Like, it just twisted me because that's my daughter.
Yep.
That's it. My mom had the same thing. We can't. When I was 18, people always go, "Dude, you never stand still."
Yeah, I have the same thing.
People go, "What the fuck?" So, and my friend, who's a dear friend now, when we were at that age, she'd always go, "Someday you're gonna have a fucking kid, and he's gonna annoy you the way you annoy the fuck out of people with that constant movement." I couldn't sit still. I couldn't sit still. And look, I am paying for my sins now today. So
But it's good. You came out good, right?
not really.
A conductor. That's what they call that,
Conductor,
right?
yeah.
Conductor. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
4-year-olds, and she thinks
Yeah,
she's
you don't need
fucking
that.
Radio City
Do it with
music.
2 feathers. Make it a happy thing or do something else. Yeah.
Lee, what's up with you, Tarzan? You got the Suge Natty shirt, Suge Knight shirt on today again?
I gotta represent the
You
Suge
went
Knight.
to visit your cousin in jail? Look at you.
No, I just, you know what, boss? I'm new to this whole world, so I honestly just spent a little bit of time looking you up. Oh shit. Okay.
You knew to what whole world, Lee? What whole world you knew to?
You have MMA fight, all that, and it was just
Listen, you're Jewish. Your
Right.
people invented this whole fucking thing. You guys invented Krav Maga. You went and fucked the Chinese people. They taught you Kung Fu. You taught them Krav Maga.
Right.
Tell them, boss.
These guys, they're under attack 24/7, so they have the best system down. They really have. The women go in the army there. You better watch out. That Krav Maga, there's some Krav Maga gyms that, like my buddy, Amir Peretz, he's probably the best guy out there. I introduced him to the guys from Sports Science, right? Because I did a few bar fighting things for them and kicking things and see how much pounds I can hit and all that stuff. And then they asked me about weapons. If I could do that, I say, yeah, I can do it. But, I can put you in contact with my buddy. I say, this guy's going to blow you away. And so I put him in contact. I knew they were going to shoot around 1 o'clock, and I got 1:15. The director is calling me, and I pick up, and the thing I say is, he's freaking you out, right? And he goes, where did you find this guy? You know how I met this guy? I came to America. I'm here for like 3 weeks. I'm going out. He approaches me. He's in a bar, and he goes, "Man, we watch all your fights from Pancrase. We watch it here on pay-per-view. Are you teaching anywhere?" I say, "Yeah, I'm teaching at the Beverly Hills Jiu-Jitsu Club." Okay, so I gave him the days, and he's coming right away. The first day I'm teaching, he's there. So he comes in, he watches the whole class, all my students are there, and at the end of the class he says, "Man, that was unbelievable, thank you so much for letting me watch, can I show you what I do?" And I go, "Sure," so he gets his bag, opens it up, and he gets like a fake knife out, and he's got this wooden gun, and some, I go, "You know what?" I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "Leave it in the bag, I'm not really into that." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I've seen it 1,000 times, man. This is it's such a dangerous stuff. It needs to be good, and otherwise it's not going to work. So don't worry about it." So he goes, "Okay," and he goes into his bag and he starts looking, and he gets a pellet gun, and he loads the pellet gun, and he gives it to me, and he says, "Why don't you shoot me if you see me move?" And I go, "Excuse me." So now the whole class started, what did you just say? I said, "Yeah, but," he said, you gotta be nice. Only when you see me move. Don't point and shoot right away." I go, "Okay." 6 times. 6 times I was not able to hit him to connect, and 6 times he had my gun within in a second. I'm hit, and he has my gun, and he's at a distance. So I brought him in contact with that guy. They measured it 200ths of a second. He took the gun away. If you see it in slow motion, you literally see a redirecting, grabbing the gun, then he hits the guy in the face. As soon as he pulls his punch back, then you see the bullet go out from the guy who's pulling the trigger. I mean, it goes so fast, So, and this guy, you have a whole bunch of those there in Israel. The Mossad. I mean, these guys are high level guys, they're updating. It's constantly renewing. It's not a system like karate or any other sport that you say, Jeet Kune Do. That was the only one that was evolving the whole time because he knew it was going to evolve. And that's the same with Krav Maga. In the beginning, there was a certain defense for a gun. Or you can't do it anymore because if you do it this way, there was a guy who broke his finger and then his finger wrapped around. You couldn't take the gun away. I go, who finds that out? Well, they find that out in real life. And then they adjust, they make it better, they make sure that won't never happen again. Yeah, but it happened only once. Yeah, well, could be your life one time, right? So that's the great thing about Krav Maga. Now, of course, there's bad schools out there as well. People ask me all the time about Krav Maga. I say, just Google. Google and reviews, read reviews. But, Krav Maga Worldwide, that seems to me is it's a really good organization. They're on Olympic Boulevard.
Right, I knew somewhere down there.
I always used to pass them on my way home. The way I sent you, I think a couple weeks ago when you were stuck in Santa Monica, it's right there on Olympic, right before the 405.
Yep.
But what I wanted to ask you, boss, I was watching your highlights and I was amazed at all the kicks. Like you just don't really see that much now. And we saw it last night with Cowboy. But why do you think more people don't? Why do you think it's such an amazing tool for you that more people aren't using? Because I don't really think you see that many kicks.
It's first of all, your legs are longer than your arms. So if I know the guy's a good striker, I'm a better kicker. So then I just keep him away with my legs. The thing is, though, you need to be powerful. The thing you hear me say for the last 8 or 9 years on Inside MMA is single kicks, never throw a single kick. And we get highlights from around the world. Every single week for 433 shows we did, that people get knocked out because they throw a single kick. Because it's easy to stop and to counter right away. So don't do that. Set it up with punches. Unless you can kick really freaking hard. Like a Mirko Krokop or like a Jose Aldo. When you kick somebody really hard to the head, you force him to defend with everything he's got, and that will buy you a little bit of time so you can get out of the way for the counter. But if you just throw a kick out there, an inside low kick, if they stand in one line, like the blading position, which I still till this day can't understand that they do it in mixed martial arts, even in Thai boxing, I don't get it. And in boxing, I always looked at Mike Tyson. But if they stand in that one blading line, there's no way they can generate power with their inside low kicks. So I said, why would you even bother of moving away from that low kick? The guy's going to hurt your skin. That's about it. He's going to stretch his leg. Take the kick, knock him out. It's as easy as that. But people all the time, they need to block these kicks. I was with George St. Pierre. Jake Shields and George St. Pierre. Jake was throwing the inside low kicks, but they have absolutely no power on him. And George, every time when he threw him, he jumped back like he let him miss, like they were going to decapitate his leg. I go, just take the kick, trade it for a right straight cross. You take the kick by moving into it, which, hey, look at this. I automatically load up. Only thing you have to do is stretch your arm. You can rotate your upper body. You get even more power. So that's the thing with kicks. If you can kick hard, if you can use your legs well, and you have a guy who's better with his hands, I would say use kicks. Keep him away from you.
And then that's the thing that I noticed is, the only knockouts that you really see with punches are like people getting knocked out, or maybe sometimes it's like they're not protecting themselves and then the ref stops it. A couple times in recent memory and on yours, they're just so hurt that they just stop, like the fight stops. They're not knocked out, but when you get kicked in the stomach, they just are in such pain. That's crazy.
My everybody's asking me because I'm known for body shots, for the left hook to the body or left kick, left knee. I knocked a lot of guys out with that, but the way I became a lover of that is my first Thai boxing class. I got knocked out by it. I was a badass karateka. Black belt, came in, tore my whole gym up, and then I went to Thai boxing, and I thought that, I was a badass. But against a professional Thai boxer, turned out I was not. And he started, my hands were low because of the karate, was not allowed to punch to the head, so your hands are not next to your jaw. So what happens is, as soon as they hit your head, you're going to have to overcommit to the defending because you're further away from your face, so you have to throw it up with a panic reaction, so to say. But if you do that, automatically you expose your body. And of course, this guy, being the professional, knew that, and he dropped me right away, man. It was the worst thing ever. Being on my knee, never experienced anything like that. But that was, okay, I got to know this. This is cool.
I didn't know this when I got older. No. When I was young, I knew this Cuban guy that defected. That used to go to my mom's bar. He drove like a car or something. wasn't a big drinker. And one day he talked to me, but he spoke to me about boxing as a science.
Yeah.
You know, he was a science. And years later, I read something from Bill Wallace, Superfoot. You know?
I love him.
And he was talking, and I read this article about Bill in black belt, maybe like in 70s when Bruce Lee, after Bruce Lee died, there was this big phenomenon in this country. And he spoke about it like a science, and there really is. There really is a science to kicking and punching. You know, when you go to karate, I went to Goju Karate. You know Rashad?
Yeah.
What's his, not Rashad, Rasad. Eddie
Yeah,
Bravo.
of course.
He's black.
Yeah.
His dad was my first karate teacher when I came from Cuba.
Oh, really?
Told me it's not a small fucking world.
That is the craziest thing ever.
I got beat up at Central Park. I got stitches. 2 days later, I showed up. It was an all-black school, black gi, fist.
Yep.
Everybody was black. He'd make you run the streets barefoot with the gi on. And you had to run by the park where you hung in front of.
That's badass.
So the next day when you went to school, those guys were like, "Oh, you're a karate man. Show us what you got and shit." So I went to all those little tournaments, and you learned this karate, but you never spoke about range.
No.
You never spoke about anything. Then I got into whatever I got into. I quit when I was 15. And then when I got into comedy, I always knew that if I trained in a martial art, it would help my comedy. So I got into Tang Sudo, the Subak Do in Boulder. That's what there was at the time. And it was a lot of kicks. And I enjoyed it. I did it for about 3 years, moved out here, didn't do dick. Got back into Subak Do. I moved to the Valley and I was fucked. So I went over here. I never kickboxed. They said over here, there's a bunch of great little old schools around here. And there's one place of America. And I stayed there for about 6 months until I got knee surgery. And I learned a world in there. Like, he spoke about things I had never heard in karate.
Yep.
But the guy who really put me over the top when I lived in Hollywood, I go over there twice a week. Black dude. Earl. Him and his brother had studied from the father-son team. They're from Hawaii, Japanese Hawaiian dudes. The son is the host of Iron Chef.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
What, Mark is one
the
guy.
Koskas.
Yeah, the Koskas.
His
He
father.
lives in my town.
His father had a school in Denver. Now, here I am living in Boulder. I was a criminal in Boulder, you know, and I got locked up, then I came out and got married. So I stayed there for a while, and then I started training, and those guys would always talk about these 2 black dudes from Denver. And I never looked into it. You know, there was no computer. There was the yellow pages, and they weren't going to tell you there were 2 black dudes from Denver.
Yeah.
It's not the name of the karate school, you know what I'm saying? What's the dude's name? I don't know. It's 2 black dudes from Denver. So how funny is that? Those 2 black dudes from Denver have a school in Vermont. And when I found out, I used to go over there on Tuesday when I was 418 pounds.
You were 418 pounds.
When I did the longest yard.
Oh, man.
I was 390 when I did the longest yard. 380.
Wow.
And that was probably August. And after the longest yard, I kept those habits. Pastrami sandwiches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what age was that? What age started you getting that big? The 400 pounds.
I came here, when I graduated high school, I was 197. And then for about 5-10 years, when I got locked up, I was at 218.
Oh, well.
215, 218.
So the food was good there? No.
No. You know what? What I'm saying to you is I graduated in 82. And by the time I kept lifting, and I started squatting. I moved to Colorado, I started squatting. I had never squatted before. Yeah. I always lifted and did like leg presses. But when I moved to Colorado, my roommates had gone to Brown. They were all power lifters. They were eating D-ball and fucking Anavar and shooting fucking Gorilla Juice and shit. But I don't like needles. I would faint. And I always said, what's the use?
Yeah.
So they taught me how to deadlift, how to squat, and that's when I really I didn't know nothing about that world. Nothing. They had built all the machines downstairs. They were like, no dead bent over rows. We don't do curls here. We don't do none of that shit.
Yeah.
We do cleans, presses, squats and deadlifts.
That's how they measure each other. So who's the toughest guy? What do you bench,
What
dude?
do you bench? No, they wouldn't even bench. They did a lot of isometrics. One thing they did in those days that we did isometrics before and a ton afterward. But they always believed. Their coach was Ira Wolf, who was my high school coach, who coached in the Olympics in '76. So the guy was legit.
Yeah.
Little dude that went from he was amazing in high school. He would go from D-ball to HIV and back to D-ball.
It is so bad for you too, man.
It's
so stupid.
So that's where I got a little. I went up to about 220, 218, and I stayed up that. And then I got locked up and I went to 235. But I was hitting the bag. I was fucking running. I got into swim. Before I got locked up, I got into swimming.
Okay, yeah,
I joined the master swimming program. 2 classes, 5 a.m. or 6 a.m.
Oh, I thought that was it.
No, they don't fuck around, dog.
I know.
The chick was a triathlete from Hawaii, and she was Hawaii. So half the year she would train in Boulder for the altitude and because they love the sun.
Yeah.
But what the fuck? Hawaii got a lot of sun too.
Yeah.
And then she would go down there and train ocean. So she used to, those 6 months she was in Boulder, dog, it would snow. Okay? In the winter, because it was outside.
Oh, yeah.
It would snow, 2 feet of snow. They would shovel a path from the dressing room to the pool. The pool would just be steaming, and there'd still be 90 motherfuckers in there.
90
motherfuckers in there. There'd be 10 lanes, 5 people a fucking lane, and 5 waiting to jump in because there's a class at 6.
Wow.
But she put you through hell. You know, she did
swimming is good.
A ball between your legs, do 20 pulling.
Yep.
And then come back and put the fucking, carry the thing and then do 20 laps of kick and then put it all together. Then come back, take a minute rest and do 440s, back and forth 18 times. I could, It was amazing. When I walked in there, boss, she said, let me watch you swim. The first time I started swimming, and I woke up and I had hit the wall. I said, okay, we got to start slow with you. And for a week, she made me just go like this and kick against the wall.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm not going to let you in the class until you could shoot all the way up. She taught me the exact science of the leg and why it should be like that. Sometimes I jump in a pool and I'm swimming. First 2 minutes, I know I'm fucking up. And it all comes back to me.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I increased my swim. And I could see how I'm digging still.
But it's you. I see you do that now. You know those moves, but it is. Somebody told me that as well. I had no clue, but it's so much technique. Everything is technique.
You know what? After a certain age, you realize everything is technique. I was on Joe's podcast, not this time, but the time before, talking about pitching. People who have the ability to pitch. And I learned this at a young age. I used to go to Joe Namath football camp. When Joe Namath was in the height of being Joe Namath, he had a football camp in New York. Did I learn to be a quarterback? No. But you always learn one thing in those Bas Rutten. Let me tell you how brilliant he was. When you walk into Joe Namath's camp, there was a bunch of white dudes. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, great to be here. You're like, where's Joe? And they're like, where's Joe? And they're like, well, just wait, give us 15 minutes. All of a sudden they line you up. Bas Rutten, yell your hand. Here. Lee Syatt, here. Joe Diaz, here. And then Joe Namath will come out. And he'd give a speech, what you expect from you the whole week. But the first thing they did, and I never followed this till years later, was they make you go to your room, put shorts on and a T-shirt, and everybody got tested for the 40.
Yeah.
Whether you're a lineman, a punter, he goes, I want to show you guys something. And he would test you on the 40, and then after that, they wrote it down. Everybody got on the line, and the guy would work with you. I mean, from A to Z. Boom, 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 your step, your neck, your breathing, your shoulders, how they should move. He did that for 5 days straight. For those next 5 days, Monday through Friday, from 7:30 to 8, that's all you worked on. He called it sprint movement. 1978 for all you. Well, we came up with that.
Yeah.
And he called it sprint movement. He broke down the sprint, the movement of the elbow, how high the elbow should go up. How high the elbow should go.
Yeah.
I remember this in the 8th grade.
Yeah, that's great.
The knee, the body, when should it pull back? That your thing is like a sail. I mean, I can't, I'm a fat fuck now. I ain't running no 40s. Mm-hmm. But by the end of the week, you made your run to 40, and you would go, what happened?
Yep.
Your time would go crazy. Did you get faster? No. He taught you technique. and he taught you efficiency.
Yep.
And the same is with everything.
That's the same with everything. Yep.
With everything.
Always get the pro right away, man. If you go, if you want to learn, so a friend of mine always does the same thing. He needed to, with the how you call it, a yo-yo. There was his part. He's an actor, Holt McCallum. He's got this new show on Netflix now. It's going to come out, Mindhunter, with what's his name? Fincher, David Finch.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing this show. $10 million an episode. He's the lead guy of the actor. But anyway, he had to do this yo-yo thing, and he just hired right away the world champion yo-yo. And you should see him within 4 weeks, the things that he was doing. And I guarantee you, if you go just to a regular Joe, he's not. But if you have the guy who knows how to tap into you and to say, no, this is the reason why you do it. That's why I enjoy teaching so much. I always go back to the basics, and people, they say, yeah, but it's always the basics. And this example I use many times. I had a guy in my class who stopped me after the class. He said, "Bas, you know what's funny?" I said, "Yeah." Tell me. And he said, we've been doing the same stuff for like 3 years in a row, as long as I've been here. I go, yeah. I say, you know what's even more funny? And he goes, no. I say, you're still not doing it correctly. And he looked at me. I go, that's why we have to do it, because everybody forgets the basics. But once I go into my spiel, where the power comes from, and I show you why it comes from there, it blows you. You go right away, why did nobody ever told me that before? You know, but it's just thinking about it and finding a way to tap in. And if you with that swimming, you guys didn't even run, probably, right? You just did the technique with the
technique.
With the technique,
half
with the
hour
running.
With technique.
You see, and that already made you better.
And at the end of the week, everybody left there. I remember being on the bus home with 4 of us, me, Chucky McBreen, and his brother, and we go, how? That's amazing that we went in there 4.9. Who the fuck knew what it was then? And all of a sudden you're 4.75 or something. You're like, what happened?
Yeah.
He taught you how to run. Then I remember going back the next year and I beat it again. I beat the record before because he gave you homework to do. He goes, do 3 of these. You know, it's just really... so with pitching, it's the same thing. If I pitch right now and it's 32 miles an hour, once I go to the pitching guys and we go, hold on, let's do these exercises real quick. Warm up the eye. Loosen the tendon. You have a tendon back here that if it's not loose, it takes 10 miles an hour off your thing. Meanwhile, you're sitting there like, fucking, what happened to my arm? And all of a sudden it'll go with the technique again and how it should come up over your ear and all that stuff. And that's where you get your power from, but the power still comes from the hip.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about. That's still,
push-up.
And then it's this hip.
Yep. Yeah, the opposite hip.
It's the opposite hip for baseball. How fucking crazy is
that? Is that because you're throwing it back?
You're throwing it
back.
back.
See?
So I'm here. And I have to lift.
Yeah.
Unless you saw our man Louis Tiant over there in Boston, he turned his whole fucking body around.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Bert Blijleven. You know that guy?
Bert Blijleven.
Yeah, he's Dutch. He's a Dutch pitcher here. He did very well.
Yes, very well.
Yeah, I heard he's in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, that's cool. They had this 5 years ago, and I felt so horrible about everything. The best male athletes from the Netherlands. they put me on number 2, and I go like, there's no way. Like the soccer players, Johan Cruyff, everybody was behind me like a gold medalist. You know, I felt so horrible. But Bert Blijleven, he's the pitcher. He was the number 1 guy. Apparently, he had an unbelievable career. Yeah, we don't have in Holland. We don't have that. You maybe have 3 clubs, baseball. Yeah, maybe now more, but it's never been big in Holland.
Now I'm gonna ask you simple questions that I just don't fucking know that I want to ask you. In Holland, why is it so well known for the kickboxing there? I never knew these things. I've just heard little, and you got to make believe like you know. Oh, really? You got to make believe you're lying. Why is it?
Because we just had guys. It started with Jan Plas. Jan Plas was from Mengho Gym, had Rob Kamen, all these guys at the time, Miluel Goebeli. I mean, they had a team which was an unbelievable team. They would go to Thailand and they beat the Thais. And everybody, how is this possible? What they did, they tied the hands together with the legs. The Thais at that time, and still now a lot, you know, they mostly kick each other back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, since that whole thing started happening, and Ramon Dekkers, once he started going to Thailand, just destroying people, it was because he has great hands and legs, and he tied them together. Samart, one of the most famous guys ever, right, in Thailand, he was also a WBO boxing guy. He had that also. He had the hands and the legs together. So we grew up with that. I remember a show we had with Rob Kamen. I was a big Rob Kamen fan still. He's a good friend of me now, of mine. But we had this show. There were 4 world title fights in Holland that they broadcasted live to Thailand. We fought 4 world champions in Thailand. They all got knocked out that night in Holland. I mean, that never happened again. They never wanted to repeat it. For some reason, the Dutch really like their striking. But, you know, with us, you have soccer, skating, but, you know, after that, it's probably Thai boxing. I mean, every week, there's fights everywhere. So people just enjoy punching, kicking, I guess.
So I thought that you were going to tell me, well,
no.
Back in the Viking days, it was his Viking named Raw.
No.
He knew how to kickbox.
And he had an axe.
Took a sailboat.
He broke his axe. And then he did it with his hand.
I love all that type of stuff, you know,
Yeah.
that type of this guy went and developed it. Now, you said something before. You said something about a lower leg kick. Is it a lower leg kick and a higher leg kick?
No. Just a low kick. But, you know, some people, what they do nowadays, they kick also below the knee. You know, which is, you know, could be dangerous if it, like, for instance,
The
my
inside
stance.
of the calf.
Yeah, because there's the tibula. You have the fibula, the tibula. The tibula is a little thin bone. I might flip it around right now, but anyway, that bone can be broken. You know, I think Pitbull, Ferry, you know, he against Benson Henderson, when he got kicked there, he broke that bone.
Okay, that's
and
it.
fight was over. Now, my stance is a different stance. Like, I'm standing right in front of you. So if I lift my leg, if you kick me a low kick, you're going to kick my shin. You know? But if I stand in one line with both feet, yeah, then they got a nice little cushion there, which is your calf. They can kick around. Another great thing for that is, of course, balance. If you kick lower on the leg, of course, you're going to move this guy. You know, so like you see John Jones also using it. You know, it's all very smart. You know, you bring your opponent off balance. And if he's off balance, he can't counter. He might counter, but not with a strong punch. So you can capitalize on that.
I always thought that, you know, on paper, I don't want you to think I'm fucking crazy. On paper, I thought the old school Kempo guys were really good at that. Of going in, but before attacking the body, they would throw a leg kick, a very inside kind of more of an explosion leg kick to throw your attention off and then get you 15 fucking times. Nobody really does that in the UFC.
No, there's not a lot of great. There's a lot of good strikers, but great ones. They're still hard to find. But you know, it's like anything else. You know, yesterday Charlo and what was it, Molina. Was it him? No. There was a different one. Anyway, there was a boxer there also, Molina. I know his name is Molina, but you know, he was very wild to me. He was very wild. So there's always differences in just in anything. Some guys are just, they win because they have a lot of heart. They can take a lot of punches, a lot of shots, and they have great stamina, and they're very hard to beat, you know. But when you see them, they're not as technical as other guys. And then you have other guys like Lomachenko. I don't know if you saw him 3 weeks ago box.
No.
Dude, he's probably the best boxer out there right now, pound for pound.
I barely have enough time for fucking the UFC.
You know,
I caught a half a fight of Bellator the other night. I almost jumped out the window because I don't know when the fuck Bellator's on.
Yep.
Bellator is like one of those. Remember the other? We've interrupted your television. That's Bellator to me. I never see fucking Bellator.
Yeah.
People always say, "You watched Bellator last night? When is it on? Fridays, Saturdays? I don't know." So I barely got time for the UFC. What was today? Sunday?
Sunday,
how much
yeah.
football did I watch today? Stomach you. That's how much football.
Yeah, but we don't have
watched
time for that anymore. It's just like
I haven't for 50, 20 years. To get serious, you're
you're going to have to give up some
going to have to
things.
give some things up. So,
Yeah.
boxing, I grew up on Duran and Benito, Wilfredo Benitez and all those guys, you know, Aaron Pryor. You know, life happens and you lose. Then I got back into it with Tyson. You know, I lived with a coke dealer the night Tyson locked out the guy with no teeth's brother, Leon Spinks' brother.
Oh, yeah?
We were all pissed off because it was going to go 15 rounds. I could rob him, steal some more rocks and shit. It went fucking 10 seconds. There I was done.
Leon, I met Leon in the Ukraine. A good guy. Very funny.
Yeah, everybody says he's really funny.
Yeah, funny. You almost can't understand what he says. They said, you know, if he's drunk, it's actually easier for him. Hey, man, what's I doing? What you that? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like almost like
what the fuck,
James Brown, like everything he said.
But that's, you know, it's not that you lose interest. It's just your computer has so much fucking What's that when people? What's the term?
Space. Hard
Your
drive
computer,
space.
your hard drive. There's so much fucking space.
You got to say it in English because apparently that works for Apple. If it's
Yeah.
English accent, it's smarter.
Your hard drive only has so much space.
What?
And it's there, and you remember it, but it's not really fucking active. You're trying to pay a house. You got a child. You got a career you're working on. You got to write jokes. You're trying to write this. You're trying to write that. So I love sports. It's just... When the fuck, I forgot the UFC was even on last night.
I did. I just started with Morrow, right? We have the Rutten and Ranallo show, but we just started this is number 5 we had yesterday. Is the Combat Sports Carousel. So we talk about all the fights this weekend and about the fights coming up, and then you realize how much work it is. I mean, I have to watch all these fights. I have to break down all the fights from next week. Like this week, there were 3 boxing shows on. And then you have the UFC on Friday, the UFC on Saturday, there's Bellator, and there was Glory Kickboxing. And we talk about everything. So I'm going to, your family life in the weekend, it's a very hard thing because you're going to have to watch, the fights. Otherwise you can't talk about it.
I can't sit there for that long. My back. I got to move.
The great thing is, once you record everything, you can fast forward through the openings and all that stuff.
I got 45 minutes in me now.
Live.
I got like 45 minutes in me now.
Of
And
what?
I gotta
Watching?
get up. Yeah, and I gotta get up and walk around, and then I can watch something else again. Then I gotta lay on my stomach for a while. I can't no more. Those days are over.
What you need is, and I have no clue why we don't see them as much anymore. But I had one of those glasses when I went to Japan. Even that was like around 2003. Glasses that you hook into your player, and then you watch TV. It's like you have this giant screen in front of you because it's against your eyes, and you can just watch TV. So then you can watch it everywhere. Now with Netflix on your phone, you can sit somewhere at the doctor's office. You put the shades on, and you can watch the show.
No fucking glasses on, all right, Bas Rutten.
Hey, listen, you can watch anything you want.
The last thing, did you see what report they came out with Thursday on World News Tonight? Lazy people are gonna fucking die.
Yeah, but don't drive a car. I'm just saying.
No, lazy people are gonna fucking die.
Oh, of course.
Binge watching, you're gonna die. They were saying that you're gonna die at a young fucking age. It's bad for you. I always believe that shit's bad for you. You don't want the least glass. I don't want to watch dick. If I gotta put glasses on and connect it to my phone, that's why I don't smoke. What's that shit they smoke with the stone? I gotta get a blowtorch at the house. Dabs. That's too much commitment. That's a little too much commitment. You know what I'm saying? Rolling papers, weed, the lighter, I'm in. A pipe. Once I got to bring a blowtorch in to do something for my head.
How does that work?
What do you mean?
Is it like dabber, like shatter, or what? How does that do? You make a stone
So
hot?
cheddar, how do you smoke shatter?
It depends what you have. There, you have these pans.
Right, you have the
Dr.
pan.
Dabber, and there's a little
Little thing, and you put a little dab of it, and then
top. That's it.
And you
I
smoke.
mean,
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah, that's an easy one. But that with the stone, I never heard of that.
Right, there's a stone. Our friends at
Nailed It Life.
Nailed It Life, our brothers. I love those dudes. But whenever they show up heavy dude. They don't even smoke weed no more. They break out a stone, and it's like a piece of wax paper. You think you're back in the 70s, and you got fucking the old school cokers used to use wax papers and shit. And it's like this fucking thing, and they blow towards the thing, and you put it on top of there, and then you have to hit it with a straw.
What?
And hold it.
Oh, way too much work.
What did we do? You were there that night when your head almost blew up. When Desiree was there, we walked out of the Improv.
Yeah, remember
How did
that?
we smoke it? How did we smoke it?
I thought that was just a regular dab rig with they had like a little torch in the car. I've never this one I've never seen. This one sounds crazy.
That was the one.
Then it's so good that I forgot about it.
Yeah, that night we remember I hadn't smoked, and I went in there. I was trying not to smoke, and I come out and they had dabs. I swear to God, Bas Rutten, I thought I was gonna die. Speaking of dying, this was the last star of death.
Oh my
It's
God,
over.
are you serious?
So it was a big week. You know what I'm saying?
The week just started.
It's 12 days.
Give me a little. I'll take a little piece off.
It's 12
Because,
days.
there's no way I can do this.
It's 12 days till Yom Kippur. You know what I'm saying? There you go, Lisa. I would never. And that one's got a tail. That's how much I love you, Lisa. Where's Tony Bennett and shit? Don't make believe like you don't know what I'm talking about here.
Oh yeah.
Look at poor Lee. He's about to puke. You should have seen his face.
Oh yeah.
We had like what, 12 stars?
Who gives a fuck? It's the Lord's Day, Jack.
I could not do that. I can't travel. I'm like, I can't spell my name.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's how you want to travel anyway. Who wants to... Listen, traveling and being... I can't fall asleep on a plane because I have sleep apnea. But on JetBlue Mint,
Yeah.
I can plug that bitch in,
Yep.
put my little gas mask on and shit,
Yep.
make believe I'm in Auschwitz, and I just pass.
Yeah. Oh, I love the thing. Your CPAP, right? It's the best thing ever, right?
You have one too?
I have one too. I
Now,
mean,
you bring it on a plane?
Yeah, I'll bring it. No, but I don't use it on the plane because if I set up straight, I won't snore. I don't have that problem. But man, I sleep much better. You get all the air. I love it. I almost can't sleep without it anymore. I love it.
Because I know when I spoke to Joe, he said talk to you, but I did it already. I don't want to hear no details about blood and shit. How many nose surgeries you have?
You know, I had only 2, but you know, because I was just the first time when it broke. You know, you go to the doctor and then I put it back. No, a big surgery was only once actually, because they really crunched my nose, and then I was standing in front of the mirror, putting it back because this is before I'm teaching a class to these kids in Holland, and this guy comes and he says, "What's going on?" But you know, I said, "I broke it. I just push it back because it's what the doctor's going to do anyway." He says, "Well, if you want, I can change it for you. We'll never break again." And I go, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I'm a surgeon. I do noses and everything." He said, "We can put so my nose. See, it's a plastic nose now. It's not plastic. It's a different kind of stuff. But you know, it can't break anymore. You know, it can break all the way on the top, but that's a very hard thing to do. You know, to break your nose. But since then, I never broke my nose again. So it actually works. It's the craziest thing.
You have no idea what's going on. Lee's face is getting redder and redder by the minutes.
Who's going to pass
He's looking at the numbers, and they're turning into different things right now. He's making believe he's keeping it together, but he's breathing out of his nose. He's blowing out of his mouth. Now, Lee, I need a big favor from you, my little brother.
Yes, sir.
I have to do something that's going to be very deep right now.
Okay.
I have to go pee, but I have to go downstairs. That means those stairs coming up are going to be a motherfucker. So I might be about 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm contemplating just taking my little helmet out and peeing off the balcony, but I love my office. I can't disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Professionals don't disrespect. Don't get me wrong. I'm taking my credit card. I'm going to see if I still have my burglary skills and I can break into this bathroom. If not, I got to walk down to the first floor, keep Bas Rutten occupied. He's got questions for you, Bas.
Okay.
Okay, give me some questions.
All right, sweet. Let's do this.
I hope you wrote it down. Because
I did.
It's still working up there now.
No, it's not working.
Yeah, it's so funny. Been there, done that.
This is. No, I've been doing it for years with him, so I'm actually okay. All right. Did you ever have an issue making weight?
The greatest thing with me is we had no weight classes when I was fighting. So I'm actually the first UFC Heavyweight Champion.
Right.
That title. And it was because there were no weight classes. And once they decided that was in 1999. It was a 4-man tournament. And there was going to be 200 pounds and under and 200 pounds and over.
Oh.
I actually, for the title fight, was 197. So I had to gain weight. I had to drink waters at the weigh-in to go over 200 pounds. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a title fight. And but that was it. So I never had that problem. If I would fight now, I would probably fight maybe 205 or maybe 85. I think that's an easy cut for me. I mean, I'm walking around 210. So I'm walking around like I've always been my entire fighting career.
Is that what you recommend? Because it seems like there's been a lot more recently instances of fighters missing weight that I haven't seen in the last couple of years. And so my questions don't really work anymore. But what I was gonna say is like, what do you think as a fighter? What do you how do you respond? How do you think you would respond if you were told your opponent missed weight? I was kind of surprised that Max Holloway didn't put up more of a stink. It didn't seem like it. Like that 3 pounds, I don't know how much of it.
It doesn't make any difference.
It's not a difference.
You know, well, you know what? How I would deal with it. It's a better way to go mental on the guy, and what that means, if somebody, for instance, will be 3 pounds over, you know, I would say, yeah, keep it. You're gonna need it, dude. I train really freaking hard. Keep your 3 pounds. Don't worry about losing them. I think to me that comes over. It's way more intimidating, first of all, than when I say, no, I want him to go back in the sauna right now. I want him to lose the 3 pounds. To me, that it seems like you're scared.
Right. Yeah.
And
okay.
Max Holloway is somebody who's absolutely not scared.
No, he
I
wasn't.
mean, we had him on a show, and it's like McGregor. It's 100% convinced he's going to beat everybody, and he's doing it. So that's why. Because he's such a badass, he didn't care.
I forgot to write it down, but that I wanted to talk to you about his confidence, because he opens up his post-fight interview talking about Jose Waldo, which I think is A, hysterical, but B, like to have that kind of balls. And we've discussed for the length of the show how I'm not that kind of person, and I want to know what makes a person have that much confidence. Like, is it just something that people are born with, or it's just crazy to me to have that much confidence?
No, it's not overthinking things. That's the whole thing with everybody. If you're nervous, you're overthinking things. It's all in the head. And if you say, okay, I always tell my students, if you can fight in the fight like you're doing in the dojo, like you're sparring, you're going 90% for sure you're going to win this fight. But doing it under pressure, it's a whole different ball game suddenly. So for him, he performs the same in the gym as he does when he's fighting. He knows that, so he knows he fights at his best abilities, and then he knows. If you let doubt going into your mind, it's like when they ask me, you and Federer Emelianenko, both in your prime, who would win? I go, I would win. How would you win? I said, I'll beat him up. And they go, wow, that's a big claim. I said, what do you want me to say? You want me to say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, there's a big chance that he can knock me out. I think as a fighter, you can never think that. You should, to yourself, you should be true. You should say, no, I'm not going to lose this fight, whatever happens. I'm pretty sure he's going to say the same thing to me back. Having doubt in the mind, if you plant the seed just before the fight, that you say to somebody, yeah, you know what, I might lose because he has a really hard right straight, you're probably going to get hit with the right straight punch. That's how it goes. I think as a fighter and the athlete, the example I always use, Kobe Bryant. Let's say he's standing for, he has to shoot one goal, and if he hits the goal, then his team wins. It's the last move of the whole game, and if he misses, the team loses. That's a lot of pressure, and he can score that thing 1,000 times. But with all the pressure, now suddenly you get affected. Now he's one of those guys also who can put it to the side and then just scores.
It's you always, when we were young, we always heard people our age now say, what I could do with what I know now.
Oh yeah.
All the different situations I was in that I could have done a lot better with my mind.
Yeah.
By controlling that. You look at now and go, what the fuck was I thinking? Where was my control or whatever? And it's even how I look at jiu-jitsu now. The first 2 years of jiu-jitsu, I started over here, but then I couldn't go at night no more. And then they only had 2 classes during the week, so if I had an audition on Tuesday, I wouldn't go the whole week, because I leave on Thursdays to go on the road. So it kind of sucked on me. So I was like, well, I got to figure something out. So I started going down to Hegan's on Mondays and Wednesdays.
I saw him yesterday, actually, 2 days ago.
Great guy.
Yeah,
man.
good
Great
guy.
Great guy. It's just, it was a small class in the daytime. His action is at night. So again, I was going 1 week. I would go twice 1 week, and then I wouldn't go for a whole week because I was on the road. It was inconsistent. I started going over here again, but they didn't want to do a daytime class. It was just a holiday, so they were like, you know what, we'll come in on Mondays and Wednesdays and fuck around. And I was getting into it, and the guy's like, listen, after this week, we're not going to do it no more. And one night I went to do comedy at Flappers, and I saw Alberto Crane School, and I go, you know what, I'm going to walk in there. And at first I was scared. Then I went on the schedule and I went in there January 4th, and I'm still fucking there. It's going to be a year next month. And you know what? I go twice a week if I'm in town, 3 times. If I'm in town, I go 3 times a week. If I have to travel, I go twice.
Yeah.
And I don't go in there to choke people out. But the whole problem I've had is, okay, so you go in there and you go through baby steps and your weight and your age and blah, 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 blah. But the real problem was I couldn't breathe, so I had the nose surgery. and that gave me a little bit more. But what I really needed to do was how to breathe again.
Yeah.
So I read Dr. Belisa's book. She came in, did the podcast. Has she contacted you?
No.
I think you and her would make a very insightful team.
Oh, that would be great.
Because when I discovered, I don't want to fuck it up here.
The inspiratory muscle trainer, the O2 trainer.
I'm a little fucked up right now. I don't have my glasses on. Inspiratory. You don't want me to tell you what I saw. You don't want me to tell you what I saw. I saw something completely different. And you were talking about what we were talking about before.
Yeah. Your what did we say?
Diaphragm.
Your diaphragm. It's the diaphragm, your intercostal muscles, everything.
It's so funny that she gave me exercise, and that was the main thing. You know, when I went in there, I could hold my breath for fucking 20 seconds. That's embarrassing.
Yep.
Listen, let me explain something to you, Bas. For me, I smoked fucking weed since I was 13. I smoked crack for about 6 or 7 months. Then I quit. I went to El Paso and I couldn't find no crack. So I just went back to snorting and everybody was happy. You understand me? I said, fuck it. I smoked crack out of a can. What do you think my lung looks like? You know
Yeah.
Because my wife didn't know I was smoking crack. She thought I was smoking cigarettes and reefer. But I would make believe I was drinking soda, and I'd crush up the can and put holes in it and just put the crack of moon down there and light that motherfucker up like I own the living room and shit. Lee, do you know what my wife said to me? We were talking the other day. This producer, whatever the fuck he was, writer, we were talking to this writer at Starbucks, where the fuck we were, Marie T, and my wife was telling him, she goes, I remember a time with the sleep apnea at first. I had sleep apnea. I was 400 pounds. I was doing a gram of blow every night, right?
Wow.
And then whatever you would give me, like if you had anxiety pills, I would try whatever. I was like Mikey. You don't remember, you didn't grow up in the 70s. There was like commercials here for, what's the name of that cereal? The shittiest cereal out there that tastes like ass. And they would eat and go, this isn't for us.
Raisin Bran?
No, it's even worse. I like Raisin Bran. When you go to prison, you get a certain urge for Raisin Bran. I'd say you like Fruit Loops before you go to prison and shit. Like, I won't eat Raisin Bran. Go to prison, bitch. You'll like the Raisin Bran real quick and shit. Then you learn to pick the raisins for later and just eat the bran. You know what I'm saying? And then later on at night, when everybody else is eating their fingernails, you got a bag of raisins, you want $1.50. There you go, and a cigarette. You know what I'm saying?
A cigarette.
Not me. I didn't smoke in the joint. I'm just saying that that's what they're going. You know, everything's a cigarette tacked onto it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You can't hit me up for a cigarette too. You want to eat, bitch?
So there's like money there. Cigarettes.
Huh?
Cigarettes are like money.
Cigarettes are money.
Yeah.
Gambling thing, you know.
So for cigarettes.
Yeah, let me get that T-shirt. Let me get 100 cigarettes.
Wow.
It's a currency in a way. 'Cause
Yeah.
even if you don't smoke,
Yeah.
even if Bas don't smoke.
No, it doesn't matter because
I
don't
have-
get high of your own supply,
Yeah,
right?
I would have
That's
cases
the
of
rule.
I would have
Tony
cases of
Montana.
cigarettes in my fucking in my little stash in
Yep.
prison. I had like 2 cases. I had Marlboro and something else, and Marlboro Lights or something. And they would go for top dollar. But I would cut great deals with a pack of cigarettes. I owned you for the month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That means I owned you for the month. Don't worry about the book.
Was like name brand worth more? Like if you got had a Marlboro, was it worth more than like a handmade cigarette?
You know, like I said, it was Bas. When we first got in here, we were talking about criminals. You know, we're talking about his friend, God rest his soul. And it really turned me about Bas because, you know, I always thought Bas was a law-abiding guy, which he is. But by him telling me this, he lets me know he has a heart. He understands that mind. You know, you grew up around fighting. You grew up, not that you grew up, you fought in Japan where they're fucking just, the Yakuza is the best in the world. Some people don't like that element, at least for you to say he was your friend, so if we're going to yak, let's fucking yak. You know? It's funny when I got locked up, when I went to my final destination, it was like I had been there before. Like I felt right. It took me like 3 days to get into the swing. You know, it took me like 3 days to talk and a couple New Yorkers to say hello to you. There was no Cubans, but a couple Mexican guys talked to me. One guy from New York was very nice, but there was one guy from Philly that was particularly nice to me. You know, big motherfucker, tats, good-looking dude. You know, white, kind of reddish hair. Had a weird look to him. I could tell he was a junkie maybe at one time, but now he was lifting weights and stuff. Just spoke from the heart. And there was another fat Italian dude in there. That you look at him, 2 minutes, you know this guy's in there for extortion or something.
Yeah.
He was in there for something. But nobody fucked with him. It was just like Goodfellas. He had his own little hut, and in there he had a setup and a half, like a kitchen. Like he had no roommates. I just thought about that right now.
My buddy I was talking about, same thing. He had a fridge in his room.
Yeah,
he called me from his room with a cell phone. And
I
have
have
floor
cell
heating
phones,
right now, he told
This
me.
is 1988, Bob.
Yeah.
There was no cell phones. We had a pay phone that you have to put quarters in, that type of shit. At that time, one of the guys figured out a way how you to make calls with no change. Again, you had to go to him and go, dog, my mother's dying in the hospital. Let me make a call. It's going to cost you, motherfucker. Come on, don't do me like that.
5 cigarettes.
Nah, because it's an endless call. It's unlimited. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be on there crying, and then they start fucking you. I'll give you 10 minutes and shit. Let me get 50 cigarettes. But he had the corner payphone that he would put. In those days, there was 4 payphone right in front of the administration building, so they could watch you. And the bell would go. You had 20 minutes. That's it, and then the bell would go off. He even had it beat that it could go 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Or 60 minutes. So you could talk to your friend in Italy for 60 minutes, but you would have to give him 3 cartons of cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
Like that type of shit. But he knew, some black kid figured it out, but he could only do the corner phone.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Not all 3 of them, because it would be tremendous. He'd be running the fucking place.
Wow. It's funny how people come up with those things, right? There's always a way to break the rule, or to still escape, in jail, and it's still happening. I mean, last week it happened again. Right? People break out. You go, how is it even possible? On bed sheets, time together, and I go like
that takes balls, and you know that they're either going to shoot you or they're chasing you. And the bad thing about listen, man, I tell you what. I think being a kid just came to a fucking end. I saw a commercial, and now you could tap the car.
You could what?
Tap the car. Just put a little thing in the car.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll tell you the distance. If it pops out, who's got it. Excuse me, where it is, blah, 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 blah. It's not going to be fun to be a kid no more.
Doesn't it tell you, like, an alert if they're speeding?
Yeah, everything. Everything.
Yeah, no, it's...
Number 2, you're a kid. Listen, there's no... I couldn't have done half the shit I did 30 years ago today. Not even close, because all my shit was walking around. There's cameras everywhere.
Yep.
And guess what, Bas? If you don't think... This is me, and I'm a dumb fuck. I got a GED, okay? If they find the body right now on Lancashire and Magnolia... Lee, you're an intelligent guy. You went to fucking school for 4 years. Let's pretend they find a body there, they find blood, and there's evidence that it happened right there on that corner.
Okay.
There's no possible way that body got transported, stabbed somewhere else, and dropped there to throw the authorities off, because that's going to start happening soon. Mm-hmm. Isn't there any way I could go, all right, give me all the cameras in the area. That's one thing. Give me all the security cameras. There's a Starbucks. Where I'm talking about right there, you know what I'm talking about, Lee?
ATM machine.
Magnolia, right there. Magnolia and Lancashire. There's a Starbucks. There's a big building, Bento Box. Right? Is that where that is, Lee?
Yeah. They have where the Oscars
Bento
does
Box.
their thing.
The Oscars do that thing, and they have that Italian pizzeria on the corner. So I would get the camera from the Italian pizzeria and the Starbucks, and where City Thin fucking burnt down. Your favorite place, cocksucker.
Is the Italian pizzeria you're talking about Domino's?
No. Yeah, well, there's a Domino's there, and then across the street, there's the place where the sangria is $9, and the pizza tastes like ass, but there's always outdoor seating.
Yeah, pit fire.
And the only reason why you go there is because the fucking theater with that shitty theater upstairs. That's the only reason why they're there. It's a fucking nightmare, that whole block. Across the street, there's a chicken place, black place, tremendous. There's always a line. First off, they got 4 tables. Why do you have 4 fucking tables? let's go get a loan. Let's go get one of these black VA loans.
Yep.
And put 10 more fucking tables in here. There's always 30 people waiting. My wife waited online. $30 for 6 pieces of chicken, and it was men's amount. I go, you gotta go to Popeyes.
Yeah.
And it would have been a lot better. You would have got a whistle and dirty rice, and everybody would have been fucking happy.
I never went to Popeyes.
But
Ever.
But the thing that it really, like the Italian guy I'm telling you about, he was in there for some federal mafia thing. I never asked him. He never told me. I just asked one of the counselors, and he told me. But the funny thing is, most people cook to sell food in there. He cooked for himself. He was the real deal. He did gambling sheets. And I became friends. He kept watching me, and I would get one sheet from him, and I would gamble with him and put the bets in. And then he'd go, you want some nachos? And I go, nachos? Who has nachos in prison? He had nachos.
Oh, wow.
And one of the best nachos I've ever had. He'd melt the cheese with the inside of an iron. You have an iron like this, and you take over here out, and it becomes a rod. And you take a piece of American cheese, and you put that rod in the middle, and you got to leave it there for like 8 hours. And then he would cut the chilies and the peppers, and he cut a bunch of shit and season it up. And you go in there at 4 o'clock, he'd be stirring that motherfucker for Monday Night Football.
Oh, the whole
At
place
5 o'clock.
smells great.
He was the king, man. This guy had a pot. He made soups.
That's in The Godfather, isn't it? When they with the razor blade.
Goodfellas. No.
Goodfellas.
He wasn't cooking steaks in there. Trust me. But there was this Mexican dude that his mother would drop off 300 burritos on Sunday, and he would sell each one of them. And I would buy 15 green chili fucking burritos.
How many cigarettes was that?
I would just blast them off cash. And I'd run them an errand once a week, which meant that when I had you have store privileges. This was a prison camp. So you had store privileges. If you had higher up numbers and you were just about to be released, you go to the store once a day for 20 minutes. At this time, Bas Rutten, who do you think you're dealing with? Joy Bananas? First off, I did something nobody even thought of doing. There was a Chinese restaurant right next to the fucking place. That I gotta tell you something. It wasn't that bad. It's like every other Chinese restaurant outside New York. You just gotta get the right stuff on the menu.
Yeah.
They make the right stuff. Their stuff was lo mein pork. If you got dry noodles with some mustard and shit, damn, Monday Night Football. You were banging on Monday Night Football. Same thing. I would get the Chinese food. He would say, what are you going to do on Monday? Who's got orders on Monday night? Nobody, me. Monday nights, I would always get ice cream and sodas. And I would take it to the HIV place. The HIV place had a couple dudes in there, but the HIV place had the best television in the house. And they had the best living conditions, and all of them were in bedrooms coughing. So I would go there, bring them ice cream and soda, and they'd let me sit in their living room. And I got these other black dude and this other white dude from Cleveland, and we count our fucking gambling money, and then nobody would say no, nobody would say nothing to us. It was like a fucking movie, you know. It was a movie.
Yeah, funny, right?
You know, I was in charge of the stock room, so I could hide shit for people. So Bas Rutten wants to hide the gloves. He's got 2 sets of gloves. He fights, you know, if people come in here and they want to fight, Bas Rutten takes them in the back, $3 a ticket. Bas Rutten throws me $2 to hold the gloves once a month. So that's how I would make my money.
Oh, wow.
Guys like you would come to me and go, hide this for me. Because it was a well-known fact that you could search everything else, but the dogs never went to the back stock stuff where the cans were.
Yep.
So I would hide gloves in there. You know, there was dudes that were just drinking steroids in there. Do you understand me? And I knew all of them because they all stashed their shit on the pallets.
Yeah.
Joey, please let me stash my shit on the pallets. They would put little packages. The syringes were up their assholes.
Oh.
I mean, this was crazy.
That's the craziest thing.
And they had spare syringes, which they rented out or gave to you, but for cigarettes or whatever. They'd walk around with 2 syringes in their asshole.
Yeah, listen, this is a funny. My buddy, right? There is a big a bouncer.
Fuck yeah, Tushy HappyTushy.com.
Dude, it's so dangerous also to start sharing needles, especially in a place like that. But this guy, he was the steroid provider to all these bouncers at the casino.
You have no
where
idea.
I used to work.
You have no fucking idea.
But he had they had 6 syringes ready, right? All filled up already, and then these bodyguards, the bouncers would come in one by one, and they would drop the pants. He would throw it in, put the pants up, and he goes out. So this one guy walks in. Pretty big dude. He gives him a shot. The guy passes out. Oh no! What happened before also is that this was going to be the last guy he was going to inject. So he already put his own pants down. So he was going to do himself right after that. And of course, the guy drops. He catches the guy. He stands behind the guy. Now the owner walks in, and they're both standing there with the pants on their knees.
And the guy's passed out.
Yeah, try to explain that. Right? No, it's not what you think. Really? Okay. It really looks like
Bas
it's
Rutten,
what I'm
got
thinking.
the craziest steroid story that I lived with. He's a dear friend of mine. I haven't spoken to him in a few months. I gotta call him tomorrow. A dear friend of mine since we were kids. And he went away to the army. He became the soldier of the year. I mean, this kid was crazy, kid from the neighborhood. But he always had something, boss. You could always tell when your kids. There was something about him. He was very sweet. He went away to the army, and then they had the big write-up about him. He ended up going to the White House with Reagan and shit.
Wow.
He saved 3 fucking dudes. Whatever the fuck the story was. Then all of a sudden I see him at the bar. He asked me if I want to do a blast. I thought you were in the army. Yeah, I got thrown out. You were the soldier of the year. They gave you a medal. Who knows?
Yep.
3 months later... And his brother's listening to this podcast. One New Year's, they got into a fist fight, and this kid bit my friend's ear off. They're both, it's like if you bit Lee's ear off right now. Boss, what happened? Bit the bottom, they had to stitch it up. Yeah. Today, everybody's friends and everybody's family. What the fuck was I going to tell you? What the fuck are we talking about? I gotta stop eating these.
Talking about the guy in the army, he got discharged from the army. There was a fight going on with his brother or with his friend. Bit the ear off.
But there was a fucking point here, Bas Rutten.
Rutten.
Oh, steroids.
Oh, it was about steroids.
But we grew up together, and there was a time when I used to buy guns in Colorado, jump on a plane, bring the guns to his house, get off the plane in Newark, this is 1987, bring the guns to his house.
Oh my God.
He'd have a buyer for the guns. They'd give me that cash, and I'd buy Coke, and then take the Coke from him and take it back to Colorado. Now, I'm a fucking kid. I'm a fucking dummy, okay? But I got balls to steal, and I'm a dumb fuck. So this goes on. So there was always a deal. When I got off the plane landed at 11. I had to be back at the airport by 3. All I wanted was my cash, Coke, and his mother had to make chicken cutlets. Because I lived in Colorado, nobody knew how to make Italian chicken cutlets with the mashed potatoes and the cream corn and the fucking cranberry juice. Nobody knows how to do this. These fucking Gentiles, they don't know how to do that shit. The one time, this is like my 5th trip. Now, I grew up with these guys. Now I was bringing them 9mm every week. Brand new, with the holster, like John Farouk. You should have seen me. Right out of Miami Vice. I'd just show up and you'd have like 3 of your fucking Goomba friends with you. And I'd walk in the room, take my winter jacket and go. And I'd have the whole holster with the gun in it, with the 2 Miami Vice clips. And the whole package would cost me $6 1/4. And I'd bang them out for fucking 12. And then I'd buy for 9,800, you got 11 ounces. This is 1987, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'd take 2 out, throw 4 in, and bang them out at 18, 16 apiece. I was living like a doctor doing nothing. I could still snort my ass off because I wouldn't lose.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lose.
I just love the image because you couldn't fly with the holsters, could you, on your body?
No, they were in my luggage.
Yeah,
so like, I just love. Where would you go and put on the holsters for this presentation?
On the drive from the fucking car. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you can't sell a $10,000 product with a $10 presentation. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Yeah.
Drop it on you, Lisa. So the one time, like every week was a new adventure. Every time I went to their house, and I loved them dearly until today. I love them. Every week was a new adventure. The one time I brought mushrooms. Fresh from Colorado that were killing motherfuckers. We put him on the table. We're in the bedroom giggling, and we hear potato chips. Like, what the fuck is that noise? We're going in the living room. His cousin, his little brother, is eating the mushrooms. He thought they were frozen mushrooms.
Oh.
So that's one time. This time I walk in. The best scenario ever. This time I walk in. I'm like, where's D? He's in the bedroom. I go in there. He got a safe. On top of that safe, there was 2 tiers. There was one tier that was just filled with little D-ball bottles, vials. I mean, in order. Like this this is 1980 fucking, I got knocked off in 80. This is way before 80s. This is 86. The whole bottom shelf was just 1 ounce vials of D-ball and the what was the one from Germany, the one that fucking yoked you up like a motherfucker. Diana Ball was the shootable. This was
Annabelle?
No, Annabelle rips you up. This was the one that fucking from your wrist up. Like once you did it from your wrist up, Jack.
Like growth hormone? No.
No, it was a pill.
Oh wow.
Big in the 80s. Big in the 80s. Big in 82. Real big in 82.
What was it? Those things that they gave to cows, right, for the asthma, or those? I think
something crazy. Lee, from here up, the muscle would start here. 3 months, you would get muscle here. People go, "What the fuck are you doing to your wrist?" I'm doing push-ups and isometrics. Listen, don't make me smack you in the fucking mouth. All right, what do you think? I just fell off the banana boat.
I grew 23 pounds.
I walk in there. The top rack was the juice. The bottom rack was a couple packages of powder and cash. His pants are dropped. He's on the phone. The cord from the wall. Okay? He's got it like this. He's bent over about to do a line. And his mom's about to shoot him with a fucking steroid at the same time. You can't write this in a
No, nobody's going to believe it.
Yeah, bro. He called in. We had him call in 10 times. He's one of my tight buddies. I got to call him tomorrow. I'm mad at him because he didn't show up to a gig, and I saved that seat for him, and I could have gave it to somebody else. As he bent over, he shot him, and he would do a line of cloak, and she would shoot him at the same time with the Tootsie Roots. That's taking it to the next level. That's 1986, North Bergen, New Jersey.
Not my parents.
No.
Wow.
Then she ended up taking one of those guns and shooting at him one time. They missed his head.
Okay.
Oh, no, this was a real house. This was no drama house. This was no fucking ABC, Blackish, or Back from the Boat, whatever that fucking Chinese.
The Brady Bunch. Yeah. Good night, Mom. Good night, son. Good night. They look all up and down. Everybody, that would be funny. You know, the Brady Bunch, you see that screen with all the little screens and all of them are doing drugs. You know, before they go
paranoid and shit. They're all paranoid. You just see,
one is looking back.
You just see little shades and shit. Look at Bas Rutten cracking funnies and shit.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
You've had a very interesting career, man.
Yeah.
And it's funny, just to answer Lee, another thing. You were talking about Pancrase. I just recently watched like maybe 1 or 2 Pancrases. Were there a lot of wrestling in Pancrase? I mean, was that? No, that's why you were throwing that many kicks?
Yeah, no, you know, I always got taken down.
That's what sucks.
But the thing was, you know, that was the, you know, I always enjoyed when I was inducted to the Hall of Fame last year. They made these stats. Thank you. And I didn't know any of my stats. I didn't know that I had a total time of 4 hours and 27 minutes. You know, they do all the stats of fight time, 4 hours and 27. But another great stat was that I never attempted a single takedown, yet I won 14 fights by submission. So I thought that was a nice little thing. So that meant that they took me down, and I was able then to overcome that. But yeah, wrestling has never been my strongest point. It's a super important aspect of mixed martial arts. I always say it should be the one in the middle. You're either a really good wrestler and a striker, or a really good ground guy and a wrestler. But for some reason, in Holland, it's very hard to find wrestling schools. It's not like here in America that everybody does it. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to focus on the ground. And maybe that even helped my ground game, because I think if I would have been great at stopping takedowns, my ground game wouldn't have been as good as it is right now, because, you know, I had no takedown defense.
Listen, before we proceed, you're a sweetheart of a guy. Plus that, you could kill me with one fucking knuckle. If I'm looking at you and I giggle, I am not high, and you are not the devil. I am laughing at fucko behind you because he is going. You ever hear the song by Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath? I'm going through changes.
Yeah,
That's Lee right now.
Yeah,
He's really going through changes right now. Every time, if I'm looking at you and I look off the side, it's not that I don't love you.
Yeah.
It's that he's going through deep changes in the stamina. He's thinking
I'm
of
not
shit.
going through changes.
I'm watching you
you almost
evolve.
can't speak anymore.
Oh my God, you have no idea. He just had a little conversation with himself for about 4 minutes about college and tuition. I watched the whole thing go down.
Look at him.
And meanwhile, you're talking to me, and I'm like, nobody can believe this shit.
How many stars?
We just went deep.
He just started throwing them at me.
How many
we
stars
started
did
with,
you do?
We started with, I think, 8, but then we had the chocolate.
I have no clue hiking today. Yeah, that's a
We
lot.
did. I didn't get anxiety coming up the stairs.
You see, it relaxes you out. It's
No,
nice.
it's that the fucking inspiratory muscle.
Yep,
Trainer.
trainer. I
I
told
saw-
you it's going to help you.
I saw you talking about it. Like, this has been. Listen, there are times I drive home and go, you know what? Because of my breathing, I'm gonna have to give up jiu-jitsu. It's embarrassing. And then I go home and I go, fuck that noise. I'm going back tomorrow, and then I'll do some hip escapes, and then I'll warm up. That really helped. Like, I'll go in the back and I'll just jump rope, and I'll do kettlebells, and by the time I get on the mat, I'm warm. And in the class, we do drills, and by the end, my breathing isn't that bad. I have to just focus on breathing in my nose and out my mouth, you know. Once I go off that pattern, I'm fucked, and the anxiety raises. So right now I'm in the process of just breathing. If I can go 3 5-minute rounds, I'm fucking happy.
Yep.
I'm very happy, you know, plus the workout, plus the warm-up before, plus I stay for mobility class, 30-minute class afterward. That's all I need. I'm still too embarrassed to bring the piece in and do it during jiu-jitsu. I don't want it on the floor with fucking...
Yeah, you don't need
I
it.
don't want people's feet on my fucking tooth.
No.
Then I'll get my fungi toe in my mouth, and I'll have fungi tooth.
Yeah, it's not going to look good.
That's a motherfucker right there. They haven't
You
got
tried to
nothing for that
explain
on
every one of
Amazon.
those sores on your lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, but you sent me the
Trainer?
the disc, the trainer, how to box and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Okay, but the one worked on my computer, but the other one was doing something. It's not your disc, it's a fucking computer. I'm getting a new one for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So once I get the new one for Christmas, but I started experimenting. You know, you gave me the exercises in the chair. I started doing those. And then I just started doing squats with it. And then push-ups with it. And then I started doing, chokes, like from the closed guard by myself. And then I started doing, what do you call those things? Not triangles, but when you fucking, the other one, when you go to the side when you're on the bottom, it don't fucking matter.
Yeah, the all this crazy.
And I got it down. This is the best I've done. I don't know what number that is.
This is, it says that number 7.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
And I get dizzy sometimes. Not real dizzy. I just hear like, but I hear that noise a lot. Whenever I get high, I hear that noise. I hear Japanese people yelling, you know. It's a bunch of, it's so fucked up what my first panic is. Like, when I first go out in the yard, I warm up, I stretch my back, I do some push-ups, I do some sit-ups. By the time I get up, I get the jump rope, and I'll jump rope for maybe 30 seconds, and that's fine. Then the next 30 seconds, forget about it. My world goes fucking to shit. And then I'll push it. I'll go, fuck this. And I'll get back on it. And then maybe I'll increase it to 33 seconds. But I'm fucking running out of gas. Then I'll wait 10 or 12 seconds and I'll do it again until I feel myself kind of like, Joey, hold on 1 second. You could die. And then I breathe myself through it. And then right away my body goes into panic. So I got to pee right away. There's times, I've taken my dick out and peed on my gi and on my hand and shit. Because it just explodes.
Yeah.
The anxiety goes out that way. First.
That is so crazy.
It is the weirdest thing. When I was 418 pounds, I used to go to Justin Fortune's gym. And McAfoley would train people in there. And the first or second time I went, I peed myself in the ring. Because I couldn't breathe. just the anxiety of seeing stars after fucking 3 minutes of just movement. We were just moving. We weren't even boxing.
Yep.
You know, and then I realized I gotta start bringing 2 pairs of shorts and I gotta wear underwear.
Yep.
It looks like I'm gonna be peeing myself a lot now. First 3 months with Naka Foley, I would pee myself 3 times a fucking week, you know.
Wow.
But you know what? I wasn't breathing correctly the whole time. If somebody would have stopped me and took the time to breathe correctly, it's so weird now. I'm working with this. I stretch out my rib cage. I mean, in my fucking marathon in 44 minutes, no. But guess what? The first time I roll, I got to stop at the 2-minute mark and rest for like 30 seconds. Then I finish out the thing. Then the second one, I go a little longer. Then the third one, I'll go a little longer. And that's my class. You know what I'm saying? Like, after that, I'm pretty fucking happy.
Yeah.
After that, I feel like I'm going to fucking pass out anyway. I've done enough anyway, you know? I don't want to be able to... I got to learn how to match my breathing up with the whole mechanics, you know, of breathing.
The great thing from this is it will teach you automatically to breathe correct. If you do a small hold on there, like at the number 10, and you breathe in, you'll force yourself to use your core and your diaphragm.
Okay, so 10's a little smaller.
Yeah, but you can only do breathing exercises where you don't want to train with that. You do this exercise I sent you in the chair,
right?
Like breathing in, and that you will actually feel your diaphragm opening
I feel it
up.
now. I feel it now.
Yeah.
See, what used to happen was this. You ready? I would go, and then right there I'd go, and then right here, it would just go boom, because there was no muscles there.
Yeah.
There was no muscle to control that. Now, hold on. Hold up. Yeah.
Yeah, just you're breathing now using your diaphragm. That's it.
That?
Just that is already.
You see that?
That's the same as what we were talking about in the beginning with the running, with the elbows not too high. It's just that.
That's it.
It
That's what I got.
Forces you to do it the correct way. That's the great thing about it.
So on your own, you kind of, I spoke to you through it, which is very nice of you. You know, man, one thing I've learned about jiu-jitsu and the world of jiu-jitsu is people are very kind.
Yep.
After you choke me 4 times, jiu-jitsu people go, you know what? Let's learn that move I'm catching you with, because obviously you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
There's nobody who shoots you and then shows you how he shot you.
Yep.
You know, jiu-jitsu does that. Jiu-jitsu is the only sport that people see and give you a T-shirt. You know, when you sent me this thing, when you sent me the little fucking booklet and stuff, it meant the world to me, because it's health.
Yep.
You don't give a fuck. This ain't for money and nothing. You're doing this for health. You thought this was... And I always get inspired by that type of shit. People like, really? You got, you know... A friend of mine called me one day. He goes, my friend says he knows some fat man jiu-jitsu. He wants a teacher. I said, you're killing me. He goes, no, go on YouTube. He'll send you a reel and shit. He was a great guy. Matt Baker, he came down. I owe him my world. He taught me through 2 things that I'm great at.
Yep.
A different type of side control. That motherfucker ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. When it comes to health, I got the utmost respect for people. Because people always trying to do something. I got to be careful.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago at the Helium Comedy Club in Portland, I was smoking pot in the green room. The alarm system went on fire.
Oh, yeah,
the electrical system went down. The lights turned off.
They came in the room, but it didn't.
No, the fire department came, but they said, what, somebody was smoking in the green room? And the management goes, yeah, and then they just left and turned the power back on. But that's why I wanted you on here. I wanted to thank you personally, because a lot of people they do everything as a fucking angle.
Yeah.
This is a really great health product, man. This is a fucking great... And I started on my desk in between computer things. I'm sick and tired of sitting there. I did the special, and since fucking March, I've been sitting there an extra hour every day. It affected everything. It affected my back. So I realized maybe I should do something in between, whatever. I got a good idea. Maybe I'll do 10 push-ups. Maybe I'll do a down dog for 3 seconds. You know, I can't do no real down dog. I do a fucked up down dog.
Yeah, a little half down.
Yeah, like a
half down dog. But you can do that also with your trainer.
With your fucking trainer. So this is why.
Yep.
This is why, you know what? Sometimes it's a sunny day out. I even yell at Lee sometimes. I go, you leave the fucking house yet? Sometimes I take the baby to school. I come back, I go in the yard, I smoke a little bit. I sit there for 5 minutes. But you got work to do. You can't sit out in the sunshine. You know what I'm saying? The sunshine don't pay the rent. I ain't no farmer. So I go inside. Now, like when I'm sitting there, I move my ankles and I do all that stupid fucking shit to keep your legs alive. But now I'm doing this. I do a couple push-ups, a couple sit-ups. So I thought it was great, man. I wanted to congratulate you.
You know, it cured me from my asthma. It blows me away. It's the most important thing in your body is oxygen. I mean, you can go 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, 3 minutes without that. You know, so, and everybody's focusing on food and being bigger and doing and drinking and whatever you drink. I go, dude, let's focus on the number one priority here. Because if it's that important, I'm pretty sure if you increase that, then you're going to feel much better. You know, so that's how it started. I came up with it when I was 14 years old, when I had asthma attacks, like real asthma attacks. I mean, a week in bed, not able to eat, you know, because I couldn't breathe.
You using an inhaler now?
Well, when I came out with the prototype, within, I think 6 weeks, I was cured. I never had asthma anymore. I sent it to my buddy in Holland who has asthma. He's selling them right now in Europe because his asthma was gone in 8 days. I start telling people the asthma, I say, listen, I cannot medically prove it yet, but we were getting very close now. I have like 18 medical journals coming out in where it's proven what it does for you. I mean, Usain Bolt using it. I mean, the gold medalists in the Olympics, 3 other gold medalists are using it. I mean, it's getting really big. I just cannot release anything right now because I have not enough stock. So that's why we're just slowly building. And then once, you know, I have 20,000 of these things in stock, yeah, then I'm going to say, okay, here are the medical journals. Here's all the proof that you can do. But I never carry an inhaler anymore. For every single title fight I had, every fight I had, when warming up, your lungs will close. Like that happens with pretty much every asthma patient. You have to open them up with albuterol, and once it's open, you can go. Now I don't even carry an inhaler with me anymore. I've been carrying an inhaler with me for like 48 years. Everywhere I went, always needed one in my hip pocket. He's still alive. Lee is still moving.
He's still going through changes.
I'm not going through changes. Yes. And yet people still call me Festos, by the way.
I know.
You know what the worst thing is now?
What?
Take 2 slices of bread. It's going to work much harder also, right?
What do you mean?
Well, if you just took a star and you wait 15 minutes and then eat 2 slices of bread.
What happens?
You never did that?
No.
Oh, dude, that will intensify the whole thing immediately. If you guys eat a burger now,
hey, boss.
in 40 minutes, you're freaking out.
You don't need to tell him these things. He doesn't need any more tricks.
I'm not kidding.
So I'll come in here with a loaf of toasted bread and butter tomorrow. I'll knock his socks off.
You watch. You eat it. You wait 10 minutes. Then you take it. You wait 10 minutes. Then you eat. That's the trick. It gets into your system right away. That's what I did with vitamins.
I've heard 1,000 different. A friend of mine used to eat medical marijuana shit only with pizza, with extra cheese, because the cheese does something.
You can do with anything.
I went to fucking Buffalo and somebody gave me a jar of papaya enzymes, which I love. And guess what? I've been eating papaya enzymes in 1981, ever since I started selling Coke. Because I used to go to the thing to get the inositol.
The inositol, that slows you down, right?
Inositol is the really, really good cut back in the 80s.
Okay.
You know, Joe Weider?
Yeah.
Joe Weider used to have a fucking thing called something fat. It was the original fat cutter. And it was cloline and inositol. That was his claim to fame. Inositol in the 80s was what real people were putting in Coke. It was untraceable. It was so funny that when I first started buying inositol, it was $6 a container. And 8 months later, it was $35 because even the pharmacists got hip to that you were cutting it with Coke. Like two fucking ounces of 35 fucking bucks. They fucked you, the fucking
Of course.
And that's why sometimes if you did a lot of Coke, you go, I lost weight. It wasn't the Coke, it was the fucking inositol, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, plus, you're sweating it out, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's the worst. Oh. Yeah.
Bas Rutten, every November, this year would be 9 years since I did cocaine. 9 fucking years. And those last 3 years were brutal. Like brutal.
Oh, so you still say, I should try one time?
Me? No,
Yeah?
no.
I think it's a worthless drug.
Let me tell you something. Right now, for me to do cocaine, it would ruin everything.
Yep.
Just even if I never did it again, it would break a promise I made. It would ruin it. Within a week, I think I'd be done. Something bad would happen. I made like a personal promise. So.
That's it. Then you got to do it.
And I never missed it after that. You know, once you're clean from something a while, you're like, wow, I can't believe I lived that long thinking I couldn't be alive without this thing. And now you could be alive without anything. Once you realize that, you're like, shit, this ain't shit. You know,
everything's in the head, man. Everything is trainable. Everything is habits. Everything is it's like me now. Now I go to New York. I take a red eye. I arrive there like 5:00 a.m. and I'm gonna, sleep maybe hopefully 4 hours, but no problem. Now 10 years ago when I was still drinking, you see, then you walk at the airport. You don't know where you are. You gotta look everywhere. You lose your ticket. You gotta find it again. Like the stress you have, and then you realize when you just stop that. You go like, yeah, I can drink a beer here and bring beer there, but to go tanked again before every flight and go on the flight, and you feel like crap when you start thinking. You're getting older. We're getting older. We want to be a little bit more healthy. You can do much more in the time, because time is the only thing we can't have more of, right?
It's funny how some nights I'm in my living room, or I'm in the office trying to write jokes or trying to write a paragraph in a book or whatever, and I think about. Like I was writing about a certain time in my life. Saturday night I had to stay in. I stay in this week because I was on the road a lot. I shot this. It's just, I knew I had to do early morning radio this week, so I had to go to bed early. I had to do East Coast radio. They wanted me to call it. The first fucking pencil I got was, can you call it at 8:30 New York time? I'm like, that's 5 fucking times. Which, worst. Guess what? Bas Rutten, I'm up. If I don't have to get up. Are you with me?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
So, let's say tomorrow you go, Joey, can you do me a favor, call into my show at 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
Whatever, and 9 a.m. New York time, 6 a.m. You'll be up. I see you on Twitter fucking around. Don't lie to me. Come on, just call in my show. I go, okay. But guess what? Tonight, I'll go home. I'll be home at 9:30. I'll watch TV. I'll smoke a bowl. And I'll go, shit. That's right, I got to call my brother Bas. Let me go in and lay down. 11, 12, 15,
yeah.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now you're in a fucking deep zone. Now you gotta do something. You want to be fresh. The old days, guys like me and you're like, fuck it.
Oh, get up, done.
Get up. Let me write.
Whatever.
Let me do 10 jumping jacks. But now you know that day's gonna be a motherfucker as it is. Never mind. You fucking. It's a night. That's what happens to me.
Yep.
So now I get 4 hours of sleep. I can't go back to sleep after Boss's call for some reason now, even though, and now your whole day is not fucked.
It's now you know why these older people, they wake up so early. Everybody wants longer time. It's the one thing that you don't have. I can't call my parents at 6 a.m. in the morning. They're up. But getting up there in age, and I truly believe, if you want to do something, if there's a lot of work to be done, like my friends, they say, yeah, but you know what? I with the auto trainer, I got to do these 30 repetitions in the morning. I don't have the time for that. I say it takes about 4 minutes. I say, yeah, but I wake up late. I say, wake up 4 minutes early. It's very simple. Like in the morning, I wake up early because before everybody goes to school, I already want to have my things done. I don't turn on my phone in the morning. I wait till it's like 9 or 9:30. If you try to reach me, too bad, you can't reach me. I don't go online. I do the things that I do for myself first. And and then my day starts, turn on my computer, and I start doing everything. And if you don't do that, this is the biggest problem, the freaking telephone. All the kids walk on the street. I was in New York 2 weeks ago, and I'm walking on the street, and it's 80% of the people are looking on their phone. And I mean, it's not 50-50. It's you look around, everybody's on their phone. Nobody has time for you. They break up by text. They start dating by text. They do everything by text, sexting, whatever they do. Yeah, I mean, it's the craziest thing. These phones are the mice. They really are. They know where you are, what you spend, what you do. They know everything about you, and everybody's hooked to the thing. You should stay far away from it. If a few days a week, if you can say, okay, today to be between 1 and 3 or 1 and 4, you leave the phone at home. Maybe take it with you, turn it off. You never know if you're going to get in an accident or something, so you have somebody that you can call, but turn the freaking thing off. My daughters, when we're eating, we're having dinner, and then somebody texts, and they have to respond right away. I said, why do you need... They can wait 10 minutes. Yeah, but they think I'm angry. Well, just tell them from now on, if you don't react, you're probably eating. Done. That's problem solved. But no, they have to immediately respond to those texts. Drives me nuts. If we go to a restaurant, nobody's allowed to bring the phone anymore. I bring my phone. I turn it off. I put it on, on airplane mode so we can make pictures. But that's about it.
Social media is a big vehicle in what we do. I have Twitter on my phone and I have Hotmail. And that's it.
That's it. This is very smart.
I have Periscope.
That's a good one too. Yeah, Facebook Live is good.
Facebook, I don't know. Some days it's interesting. Some days it's just a cry for fucking help. Some days.
Yeah, for me.
Some days it really aggravates the fuck out of me. Some days I don't even look at it. It's a sad thing. If I see family from the church family, I'll put something nice to try to make that day, to see if they're having a shitty day. But besides that, I look on Facebook sometimes and I go, what the fuck is this? What is this? Why am I looking at this? I could be writing a half a joke.
Yeah, looking at a cat who's
yawning. I could be
yawning.
writing out a fucking word or something. So that's what I get from the social media thing. I don't let it really cut into my shit. That's why I keep my stuff low, Lee. Lee knows when people come to me with new gadgets, listen, I got what I got, and I barely got this.
Yep.
The last thing I need is a new fucking, what's the gadget? Well, this is better than Periscope, because you could talk to the people, and you could see where they are, and you could charge them $2. Listen, I don't want to do nothing like that.
Yeah.
I just want to pop on Periscope when I want and get the fuck off there when I want. You don't have the fucking time to be around there all day. I try to go away from social media Saturdays and Sundays.
I do too.
Okay, so I disappear Friday morning and I get back on there Sunday night. Sunday night, especially if it's a business week, you got to get on there Sunday night to promote, to let them know Uncle Joey's coming to town slinging dick and giving out firecrackers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Fuck it, Bob. You miss doing the MMA hour?
Oh, yeah.
That went on for how long?
9 years. Yeah, I do miss. I miss the people also. You become a family. You know these people for 9 years. Every week you see them. They become very close friends. So yeah, I miss that. That's it was always fun. I never had a day in my life that I said, today I rather stay home than do the show. I always wanted to do the show. It was always fun to do. It's always good to have guests on the show, maybe like McGregor. I met him through our show, so we get the new stars on. This is 2 years ago. But, you also, the old guys, sometimes we talk to Coleman or to Don Fryer, Dan Severn, all they come back on, Hanzo Gracie, then the new young guys again that I don't know. So this way it was a way for me to stay in touch with the old guys, but also to get the new talent and start knowing these new fighters that we have nowadays. So
it was funny because when I would get off the stage on Friday nights, I would get back to my room, whatever city I was on, and either you were on or it was coming on in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like if I got in at 1, like if I got in at 12:40 and you weren't on, I knew you were coming on at 1.
Yeah,
if you didn't come on at 1, we got a problem. But you know what? There's a soda fountain downstairs, and they got potato chips. I go, this isn't killing out. And that's how I would watch a few things. You know me. At that time, I was still to this day, since the UFC really broke my MMA cherry, I still watch the UFC if I have to. Very seldom would I. That's why I say I never know when Bellator is coming on.
Yep.
And the other places, I don't really. The other people I don't watch. I don't even know what else is out there. Maybe the World Series of...
An Amber Alert? Did you get that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, me too. My mind lit up too, that's right.
They stole my cat. What the fuck, motherfuckers.
Her name is Amber?
No.
Oh, was this a cat? No way.
No, it's not a cat. That's a joke.
It's a blue cat. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's fucking crazy when that happens. Now, every cop is looking for you.
Yep.
What a fucking nightmare to be a criminal full time now. Oh my God.
It's so useless. Eventually they all get caught. You're gonna do me in jail. That would not be a good thing, man. I'm not a happy person when I'm locked up. I want freedom. I want to run around. I want to scream, do crazy things. Nah, that would not be me.
You don't know what losing your freedom is till you lose your freedom.
No, I believe it.
And for me, it wasn't the freedom part. I've said it 1,000 times. It was more the slight looking down from the guard to the convict, that non-respectful, they respect you, not that they respect you, they keep it light, because they know at some time you could blow up the fucking floor, but they still have this weird treatment of you. I always told Lee, you don't know what your life is until a man kicks your bed and tells you to wake up. That does something to you. Can you imagine that man that come to your bed and just kick and go, wake the fuck up, bitch?
Yeah.
Eventually you're going to get up and choke me, Bas Rutten. Eventually.
Yeah, I would not go with that.
That's not good.
No, that's not good.
Nothing.
Authority figures, I'm not a big fan.
Nobody putting a light on when you're sleeping is very fucking nice. Then they kick the bed, then they say something to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And there's nothing you can do. Because if you do, they'll have another place for you. They'll go sleep here, right?
With stitches.
Throw in the hole or whatever.
And now you got to sleep with stitches and a tube up your ass.
Yeah.
So you know the system. You already know the system. They never beat you. They never make believe they find heroin, none of that shit. But they always play that hand like they got you. And they really do have you. So who are you kidding who? It's so now you start playing, I'm not doing nothing, but even if I was, you couldn't get me. And you start playing, I know you're doing something. You're a criminal. And guess what? 9 out of 10, I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
And that's what happens now in the system. And you see it go down. And sure enough, this guy goes for 1 week. The way Lee's about to go, Lee, you're getting sleepy.
You don't need to tell me that.
Lee, you're getting sleepy. Lee, put your head down. It's okay. Snappy
I'm
noodle time.
not sleeping. I'm fine.
You know what? Listen. Listen, no man deserves to go through these changes. Put your head down. It's okay. I'm not going to be mad at you. Your family.
I bet.
Close your eyes. 5 minutes. Just take a breather. It's snappy noodle. You ever remember when you were in kindergarten? It's snappy noodle time. It's snappy noodle time. You cross your arms like this, Indian style, right? You put your little head down.
That looks really good.
Look
the
how
way he
nice
does
that
Look at him.
feels.
Yeah.
You're sitting over there going through changes. You're hearing people yelling.
Changes.
I swear to God, you don't know what I've seen. Bas Rutten, it looks like he's got virtual reality glasses on, and he's got.
But he's not looking because his eyes are closed.
The lights are turned off, and he's listening to Apocalypse Now. That's what if your face looks like, Lee.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you have 1,800 milligrams, whatever we have.
Who said it was 1,800?
It was at least 1,400.
Stop lying to these fucking people.
How much was it?
A lot. Don't ask questions, all right?
I think I'm doing fine.
Bas Rutten, you ever look at these guys in the ring and you go, I miss fighting?
Every day, every time. The worst is if I go to a gym to interview somebody and they're sparring. And I go like, oh, I wish I could do that. I don't want to take the risk anymore. I have 4 neck surgeries. I got plates for the front, 4 disc fusion in the back. I mean, it's the time that you start thinking, you know what, I'm going to give my body a little rest. I beat it up enough. I did enough crazy stuff in my life. And, I got the crazy stories to back it. But that's it. It's time now to pay attention to life, right? I mean, it's out of control. Time, again, here we go again. Time, everything is time. And it's walking in pain. I rolled, when I saw Higgin, I was with another guy also, and he wanted to roll. Now, I didn't roll for 10 years. There's a reason I don't roll, because I have no cartilage on my kneecaps, which is extremely painful. Not at that moment, I can do it, but the next day, and boy, the next day, yeah. I look at my wife, I go, oh man, I can't even walk the stairs anymore, it's because it's aggravating. The knees start blowing up, so it's not fun anymore. That was the reason I stopped fighting. People go like, why did you stop? You were still winning. I said, well, because the training, it was hurting. Every workout, 10 times a week, in intense pain, get my tendonitis in my arms, kill me. I was losing weight because of the pain. I couldn't eat. It was not fun anymore. Before all that, training was fun. Getting tired? Oh, I love getting tired. I wanted to get as tired as much as possible, because for some reason that would give me a great feeling. I learned how to love that. That's what with things people say, well, yeah, I don't like training. Well, learn to love it. Otherwise, stop. Otherwise it's not your profession. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to go far. You're really not. You need to love it. And I think once you fall in love with it and there is no pain, well, sky's the limit.
I mean, you're 51 years old now. You could probably still knock a lot of motherfuckers out and still wrestle. But I think, you want me to tell you what happens? I think when you look at the tape, you go, I'm not doing that no more.
No, I'm a different guy now also. You know, the things I did, you know, people, you know, I'm always been very nice. But, you know, to a certain point. And, you know, you have these guys who suddenly think that you're afraid of them, you know, when you say, hey, listen, we don't need to fight here, you know, and then you do it again and you do it again, because why would I want to fight it? This guy's not going to be anything to me. But now he starts thinking that you're afraid, so now he turns it up, and then always the conversation goes like, dude, I hope you're not thinking I'm afraid of you. You think I'm afraid of you? I'm afraid to beat the crap out of you. That's what I'm afraid of, because I will do that. There's no way you're going to win this thing. So, and all that, you know, in the early days when something happened, I was right in there, you know. Well, of course, I was nice. I was nice again. A third time, that was it. Now I got much more control. Now I can let it go for 7 times, you know, and then really I still walk away until they put their hands on me, you know. But that hasn't happened a long time. At 15 years, nobody ever did that. So, and I'm really good with talking as well. I was a bouncer in Holland, and the reason I was a bouncer was because 9 out of 10 times I solved the problem, you know, without fighting. And that's why they wanted me. I was wearing my glasses. At the time, I was wearing glasses as a bouncer. But, I just talked to everybody. And just, hey, what's going on here? And then once they explain themselves what the reason is they're fighting, they realize it's really stupid, because it's always stupid, you know. And then you say, are you kidding? Just think about that. And I give him a beer, give the other guy a beer, fight will be over. Now, if somebody will keep pushing, you know, then I wanted to make sure that everybody was going to find out about it. So then I would just go to town on the guy, because I would set an example. Then people go like, yeah, he's really nice, but you know, the last time we saw that, he was headbutting the guy like 5-6 times in the face. You know, because I would do that on purpose, because the headbutt is for people, when they look at that, they think you're a complete psychopath. And I know that. So, you know, then if somebody was a really bad guy, like a guy had an ashtray in his girl's face, yeah, now you're going to get 5 headbutts, you know, and that doesn't look pretty for people who are watching. But it's a different guy, you know. Also, when I realized I was, you know, my wife said it. She said, could you do it? I said, oh, no, I'm, you know, yeah, if they attack me, yeah, I'll go all the way again. I don't care about that. But you know, I was just a different person, you know. You grow old, like we all do, and you start thinking about life. You go like, yeah, I would solve that problem probably different right now.
I'm talking about last week. I was talking to Rogan, and he showed me tape on Bernard Hopkins.
Unbelievable, this guy's turning 52 in January.
You know, okay, he's the same Bernard Hopkins I became a fan of. And the thing I've always liked about Bernard Hopkins is what Earl, I can't remember what his name is, the guy who taught Kaju Kembo down here in how I told you was the Cascas' student.
Okay.
His main philosophy is, why am I blocking you?
Yeah.
Why am I wasting all this fucking time in blocking you? Let's just do this. Let's just make believe I'm moving and you're missing me.
Yeah.
And his main thing on his style, which I can't remember now, it was Kaju Kembo, but it was something, they called it something else, which, you know, there's 1,000 fucking names, was basically, it was evasive, it was all based on range, and it was all based on not getting touched. I remember when I would have conversation with him, he'd always go, I never see UFC fighting that they really cutting in angles like they
Thompson.
should. Like the
But you
Filipinos.
see, that's a karate guy.
Right.
Wonder Boy Thompson.
Right.
He's got great distance.
Great
right?
distance.
Distance, man, is the most important in fighting. Always.
Anderson Silva had it
Yeah.
also.
Great distance.
Great distance.
Yeah. So eyes on your opponent and the distance. That's it. They're either too far away or they're too close. It's very hard to fight at the just perfect distance, just outside the range of your opponent. So you only have to move back like half an inch, and then right away you can counter again. If you can find that, that's the thing. That's most of the time, you know, that happens with fighters. When I start a fight, you will see my hands are low. And I do this on purpose because I want him to hit my head, you know. And then every time I let him miss, but every time when I move backwards, I let him come a little closer. And I'm just getting used to his reach. And suddenly I'm like half an inch out. Now I found his reach. You know, that's a really nice way, easy way to figure out somebody's reach. You don't want to figure out if you fight a guy like John Jones with, what has he, 86 reach. If you didn't spar with somebody with a long reach, he'll knock you out with the first punch. I mean, the difference is insane. I mean, he can literally, from this distance, but we're sitting right now, he can probably hit you. He can knock you out. Now, if you're used to my reach, and then suddenly have that, that's a big problem. So let him throw some shots. Figure out the reach, and then figure out what you're going to do with it. It's a game.
It's weird how people at home watch fighting, especially now with the explosion of MMA, and it's got so many different avenues. How these guys make it look easy. And even boxing.
And they all think they can do it. Yeah.
And they all think they can do it. And it's so weird how I go to lunchtime jiu-jitsu, but at least once a month, the daytime guys are talking about the night before, how a guy came in, said he never did jiu-jitsu before, and he armbarred a purple belt.
Yeah.
Because during like drills, armbar a purple belt. He goes, I thought you never did jiu-jitsu before. Oh no, I learned how to do it on YouTube. You know, it's...
Well, I learned watching videos and books. That's how I learned with a buddy of mine. And then finally, after a year training, fighting in Japan, I had no sparring partners. I was training on a bag. And then I found one guy. And then, after my last loss, I said, I'm going to have to change this. I'm going to need to know the ground game. Otherwise, I'll never be anybody with this. And then I started training, and I never lost a fight anymore. But I took it to the next level. It's again, you want something, well, you're going to have to do it a lot. And once you start training 2 times a day or 3 times a day, every day, and being busy with it in your mind and writing down all these crazy combinations you come up with, everybody can do it. It's just finding the love for it. I still can't believe that you have fighters out there, which they will tell you before you fight them, you know that if you get them on the ground, you probably can't submit it, right? I go, this guy should be disgusted with himself. Can you imagine you're that guy? Or, if you hit him to the body, he'll probably go down. He already went down 5 times to the body. 5 times? That will not happen with me after 3 times, I guarantee you that. I'll get so angry. 1 time, 2 times maybe, but 3rd time I don't want that to happen. It's not going to happen. That's my call. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that's not going to happen. And by the way, I'm going to counter that. Now please come for it. I'm going to find every counter, everything that I can do with that special body shot. But if I don't fix it, why are you fighting? It makes no sense. If you don't want to get better, but he armbarred him again. Well, he's a dumbass. Learn the game. It's mixed martial arts, guys. That was in the early days. You have these strikers, but you knew if you had them on the ground, boom, you won. And then and vice versa, of course.
You know why I got so much better at comedy? MMA.
Oh, yeah?
I can't say MMA. I say UFC. I'll tell you why. Because I was just becoming acquainted with it. And I'd put on the countdown, or I'd watch the fights, and they'd talk about who was coming up next. And they'd go back to the backyard, and they'd show them doing all this shit. And all of a sudden I go, all right, in my mind, I go, I'll bet on that guy. And I'd always lose by myself. I'd always get my ass kicked in the early UFCs, What the fuck are we talking
about? Because you look at bodies. You look at the person, how they look.
Yeah.
If you look at a guy who's jolted up full with roids, as a normal person, you're going to think, oh, he's going to win. And we were talking also about the people at home, how they think they can fight because they see it on TV.
They see that.
It is the funniest thing ever. Last time I got in, somebody said, oh, I got a new opponent for CM Punk, and he showed me a fight from a guy who was very wild. And I go, how many fights did you have? This guy's actually fighting. How many fights did you have for posting that video? I mean, to me, that guy who's in there deserves a lot of respect. Winning, losing, I don't care. They're doing what they want to do. You're not doing it, but you're talking about it because you think you can beat them. These guys can't do anything. It's a shame. It's so easy. But by boss, if I hit him in the head, his body opens up and you can go for the body, right? Yeah, why is nobody doing it? I said, why don't you fight? Why don't you try that out one time? I had a student, and he was 38 when he started. And he was a bodybuilder, or no, powerlifter, 250 pounds. And the first day I told him, I said, it's got to go all. He says, what? I said, at least 40 pounds of muscle need to go. Because this is going to hold you back. And he's 205, fights at 205 right now. He's now 44, had already like 12 matches, won 9, so he's doing good. Never had aspirations to become a champion. He said, before I get old, I want to try it. I want to know how it feels to step in there. So he did it.
It's full MMA?
Full MMA.
God bless him, though.
Well, you know what he said in the beginning? He said, Bas, okay, so if I'm on the ground, right, and side mount, I can knee his thighs, right? I said, yeah, why is nobody doing it? I said, I don't know, maybe because they're dumb, because it's super effective. Okay, yeah, okay. I said, but you know what? Just wait till your first fight. Then he comes back a week later. Hey, standing, I can do that too, right? Knees to the thighs. What if they do really freaking hard? I say, yeah, that's how they should do it, but they don't. Yeah, that's why it's not effective. I say, but just wait till you have your first fight. And then he comes with another technique. And as I would say every time, I would say, wait till you have your first fight. Then his first fight came, right? And this guy is like, all technique is gone. And the one combination that we worked on so many times, was a right hook to the body. Keep looking down to the body like he thinks it's another body shot. Then you hit him in the head. That one thing came back, and he knocked the guy out like that. But for the rest, it was a horrible fight. So after the fight, he said, what did you think? I said, what were the knees to the thighs? In the standing position and on the ground. And where was that other crazy move? And he looks at me with a blank stare and he goes, yeah, now I know exactly what you mean. It's a different thing, Being a good gym fighter doesn't mean anything. You know these guys in the gym, they work circles around the world champions, but once you put them under pressure, they can't do it, You need to once you can control that.
I saw it for years in the comedy game.
Oh yeah.
I saw the switch from a city to Los Angeles. I saw it once or twice a month. What happened to that guy? He cracked at the Improv.
Yep.
He got in the plane and went back to whatever. Let me do some shout-outs.
It's crazy how that goes. Pressure, guys.
Pressure's big, man. Pressure's real.
There's everything, especially stand-up comedy.
I want to thank everybody who downloaded the new special on CISOTV.com. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. You guys know who you are, and I love you to death. Os Warrior, David Nutt, The Fire Clown, Ookie Spooky, Looking Good, One by One Podcast, my man Mike, my man Matt Baltazar, running fucking Sunday Sabbath, Andrew Nodal over there in fucking Nyack, running things, Retarded Genius, and Ray Majewski. I love you, cocksuckers.
Some nice words from Joey.
Yeah, these guys know I love that and stuff like that. Now, do you have some available now on the webpage?
Yeah,
Okay.
we have them back again. The results are crazy. Just try it. 30 repetitions in the morning, breathing exercises with screen 10. That's it. Wait till I come out with all my medical journals. People are going to freak out. I mean, we got 4 Olympic gold medalists training on it, and that's, like I said, including Usain Bolt. So we're doing something good right here, and hopefully we can make it into a medical device.
Hey, if you want to really give this a shot, go to 2 Trainer with a capital T, trainer.com. Is that it?
Yeah, O2 Trainer.
O2 Trainer.
O2Trainer.com.
Sorry about that. I can't see without my glasses. That's why I got to put my shit
It's
on.
the 800 milligrams. What was it? 800, 1200.
Way more than 800.
Joey, I am your father. I would do it every morning. I drive to the ocean to swim there, do crazy exercises. I do it in the car.
Do you always have the nose plug on?
No, I don't. I just don't breathe in through my nose.
See, that's what I don't like, because that's the habit I got to...
Yeah. But that's what somebody told me, but then I'm cheating. I said, then you're cheating the one person in the world that you should never cheat, yourself. So just don't breathe in through your nose. That's it.
Lee, what kind of changes you going through tonight, Lee? Answer me. You're sweating. You're wiping your forehead. What happened? Talk to me.
I'm hot. I'm fine though.
Let's go through some deep changes.
Medium changes.
You know I love you. I ain't gonna say nothing. Do you hear voices?
Only in Spanish. I don't know. No, I feel fine. It's hot. I felt that's it.
As long as you're hot. You had me nervous there for a second. I know you're going some deep motherfucking changes tonight. So I just want you to be alright if you want me to call the hospital. And let's still got another 3 or 4 more red stars for us. We're gonna open up the week big, Lisa. Yeah, it's over. That's
absolutely.
It. Who gives a Frenchman's fuck? anymore. You understand me? First off, this company made me a suit, and I never went down there to pick it up. So I got to go down there this week. I got to go down there maybe Thursday. I'm going to call the girl tomorrow. I promise you, because it was a tremendous experience, okay? I don't know if you guys wear suits or not, but it's the holidays. Plus, you might have to go to court. Plus, you might get a DUI. Plus, you might have to go to a fucking wedding. Excuse me. Plus. Bitches, you got to get a suit. Even my Goomba Lee over here didn't have a suit. I talked him into it. Now he's got a suit for every fucking occasion because, you know, there's times you can dress like a bum, and there's times you need to dazzle motherfuckers. They can't see you. Listen, you don't want them to see you coming.
Stop it.
Merry
That was nice, huh?
Anyway,
That was nice.
You don't want people to see you coming. You want to fucking show up looking something good.
Conor McGregor.
Like today at fucking church, I wore a nice suit. Why? Because I wanted to impress my fucking daughter, not to impress those fucking yokels. Anyway.
Conor McGregor looks great in suits,
Tremendous.
right? Suits are great.
Now, was it a made-to-measure suit? Not really, but the guy put the fucking finishing touches on it. It looks okay. I don't know what you guys know, what a fucking measured suit feels like compared to a generic off-the-rack suit. Okay, but I know, one thing I do know about my personal experience with Indochino, okay? I went down there, they measured me up, they showed me the different materials. It was something out of this world. You know why? Because Indochino is one of the largest made-to-measure menswear brands. They're making it easy for men to get great fitting, high-quality suits and shirts at an incredible price, all right? Here's how it works. Excuse me. You go to Indochino.com or drop by one of their 9 North American showrooms. You pick from hundreds of fabrics and patterns, okay? I did it right down there on Beverly Hills. You choose your customizations from lapels to pleats to jacket linings to more. You submit your body measurements. You kick back, relax, and get ready to step into the best, most stylish suit you've ever worn in just 4 weeks. You understand me? This week, my listeners can get any premium Indochino suit for just $389 at Indochino.com when entering church. CHURCH. You don't want to show up at grandma's wearing that stupid fucking gray shirt again, do you? You want to show up banging with a fucking suit, whatever. Anyway, do yourself a favor. It's the holidays. What I'm going to do is this. That's fit. $389 is basically 50% off the regular price for a made-to-measure premium suit. Plus, shipping is free. Who's better than Uncle Joey? That's Indochino.com. Promo code CHURCH, CHURCH, for any premium suit for just $389 with free shipping. Indochino also has amazing holiday deals right now on their shirts, pants, and other products too. You'll never have to worry about looking like a bum with badly fitting suits or expensive trips to the tailor again. Get ready to look like $1 million, all right? Again, go to Indochino.com/Joey. I'm going to take good care of you. Oh, Indochino.com/church. We're going to take good care of you. You know who's going to take good care of you? Listen, people, let's get the ball going, okay? You're what? 12, 13 days away from Christmas, maybe. What's today's date?
It's the 11th.
The 11th. All right. Tomorrow's Monday. That's the 12th. So in reality, you got 12, maybe 11 days, 13 days to pick up a paycheck, okay? How are you going to put it together? What are you going to do? Go dance at a bar? You can barely walk. People throw apples at you and shit. What are you going to do, guy? What are you going to do? Walk around and go down and stand online to get picked and work? The holidays are 10 days away. Even if you get picked, you're going to get a fucking check in the mail. Nothing bothers me more than the check in the mail around the holidays. After it's 10th, it's all about cash and dollar. I got an idea for you, all right? I'm going to tell you a smart way to earn extra money and get $500 bonus driving with Lyft, okay? Listen, you're in between jobs and you're looking to earn some extra money. You're looking to put some money away for college, right? you're going back to school yourself, you want to get another degree, or your first one, you're writing the next great American novel and looking for inspiration. You know, you're someone who loves to drive. You're someone who just plain loves people. If any of these things fit you, Lyft is the way for you to go, all right? Here's what they go. They got other ride-sharing apps out there, but Lyft treats their drivers right. It's a flexible way to make money anytime from nearly anywhere. All you need is a car. Lyft drivers can make up to $35 an hour, and getting started is just a tap away. That means you could be driving tomorrow. You can drive mornings. You can drive nights. You can drive weekends. You can flip into a driver mode and start making money. Plus, Lyft drivers can earn tips right through the app. Those app ads, let me tell you something, those add up real fast. And you don't have to wait days or weeks to get paid. This is what I'm talking about. The holidays are coming. You can cash out instantly once you've made $50 thanks to Express Pay. All right, driving with Lyft is super flexible. Listen, you're an insomniac. What are you going to do? Sit there and watch? I watched a bunch of movies. Listen, get the fucking car. You get out there, you earn, whatever. It's better than sitting there and watching TV like a Momo. This is flexible as can be. Sign up today at Lyft.com/Joey. Again, right now, Lyft has a special offer for all our listeners. You get $500, all right? $500 new driver bonus after you complete 100 rides in 30 days. You can do that standing on your head, okay? Go to Lyft.com/Joey today, and you can start making extra money and get your $500 new driver bonus today. Limited time only. Get your action together. Restrictions apply, but the party starts right now, all right? And also, listen, you're looking for that holiday gift. You're sitting there scratching your ass going, what am I going to get for this guy? I just started dating him. We had sex a few times. And after I got up, I noticed there was a weird odor in the room. What am I going to get this guy? Oh, shit! HelloTushy.com, motherfuckers. I started dating this girl. And she's tremendous. But every time she leaves the house, my dog won't stop sneezing. It smells like rotten ass. HelloTushy.com, bitches. Bidets are back. Devices that spray your butt clean with water. I grew up with a bidet in my house, and I got to tell you something. It was tremendous. Well, guess what? Thanks to Tushy sleek bidet that clips onto your existing toilet and sprays your butt completely clean with fresh water to get your muffler sparkling, all right? Listen, so you're not sitting there on bacteria-causing hemorrhoids, yeast infections, and just plain old rotten ass. Listen, why do this to yourself? Why sit there like a mook fucking 8 hours a day, your asshole's rotten to death? Hell no. You go to your bathroom, you do what you gotta do, you turn the bidet on, and guess what? Your life becomes a fucking reality. It's a dream. That's what bidets do to you. They give you confidence. They wash your butt. They wash the back of your scrotum. You could dip your helmet in there. Whatever the hell you gotta do, Hello Tushy's going to save the day, bitches. And guess what? Hello Tushy is a tremendous motherfucking Christmas gift. How's that one for you? You're confused. You don't know what to get them. Everybody needs a clean asshole. Am I lying? Everybody needs a clean asshole. That's why I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go to HelloTushy.com right now. And on the way out, you get 10% off by putting church, CHURCH. Listen, bidets are better for the environment anyway. There's no paper, more trees, okay? This Tushy only requires 1 pint of water, plus you have a 60-day guarantee, okay? What are you going to do? You're going to keep walking around with that rotten fucking muffler? Go to HelloTushy.com right now and put in
Church,
CHURCH, and get 10% off. Merry Christmas to you motherfuckers. That's the fucking stocking stuffer of the year. Anyway, I want to thank Lyft. Go to Lyft right now, Lyft.com, and get a fucking job. Don't make me tell you again. HelloTushy.com/church.
and the best part about Lyft is you're making money on those 100 rides. So you're making an extra 500, but you're making a ton of money on those 100 rides.
Listen, guys, get it together, all right? I just gave you, you're broke, you're sitting there with your thumb up your ass. What'd you buy that car for? Look at it. I got a nice car. Well, now what are you going to do with it? You got nobody to bang in there. Where do you got to go? Where do you got to go? Lyft.com, correct?
That's
Yes,
it.
sir.
Live.com/Joey.
Right. And what's the other one?
CHUR.
Indochino.
Indochino.com. I love you, motherfuckers. See you guys Wednesday morning.
On it, too.
And we want to thank Honor.com right now. Another tremendous holiday stuffer. Go to Honor right now and press in.
Church.
Bam! CHURCH. Get 10% off. Shipped directly to your house on supplements only. I love you guys. See you motherfuckers Wednesday morning. Stay black.
You're one crazy guy, my friend.